Yeah.
Hello, you beautiful nerds. Welcome to the Drunk Banthas podcast, where we talk about sci-fi, fantasy, horror, and all the popular art that we love. Also, we do it drunk. Mostly drunk. Always encouraged, but never mandatory. I am Jedi Master Grayson, and I'm joined, as always, by my co-host and brother Bill. How you doing?
I'm doing great, dog. You know what I'm saying? Just getting back off of the drunkest trip in Bantha history. Just got back to Chicago. Yes, so far. Thus far. Due to be broken. That record is due to be broken.
Man, wait till we record live from Vegas.
Wait till we record live from Vegas. Seriously, I'm gonna try. We record live from Vegas. I'm gonna try to get a spot at like the Wynn or something. Not like a place to live, just sleep.
Right.
Just like rent out a space for us to, do a show. I don't think that. Yeah, we can afford a place. Actually, I don't think that. Yeah.
I foresee that being our unintentional last show, where everybody alcohol poisoning. Some of us go to jail. But tune in for our eventual last show at Las Vegas, guys.
He was survived by 3 children and one wife.
I'll tell you what, whichever Bantha or nerd survives that night is the leader of the cult.
Roll Tide.
It's a very last man standing situation. But guys, we have an amazing show for you guys tonight. We are talking about the boys. We're talking the Acolyte. We are talking some HOTD. And as always, we're talking shit. And we can't talk shit without our lovely panel. Patrick. What's going on with you tonight? How you doing? How you feeling?
Oh, I'm doing well. For the first time in a very long time, I actually came with notes.
Ooh.
I did 2 watch throughs. I'm prepared, guys.
Wow.
I don't know if the Adderall's just finally kicking in or what, but let's go.
Yeah. We got watch throughs. We're doing ratings today. We're gonna do our IMDb ratings today. We're gonna have a show, y'all.
Oh, man.
We're gonna have an actual show. Hold on, where is the goddamn button? You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have a real show today, y'all.
Indeed.
No more of this bullshit that you've been dealing with lately. Shout out to everybody who watches the Bantha Bunch on Thursdays. Shout out to everybody who was chilling with us on America's birthday. It was cool. We had fun.
Yeah.
It was girls. It was fun. We had a good time. 9 had a better time than most of us.
Yeah, he probably had the best time.
Shout out to 9. Shout out to Terry. It was a great time.
Sorry, the rest of you don't know how to celebrate. Dicks.
We had a whole pool day, man. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Like, we watched fireworks from very high up in the air. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a good time. We grilled out. We really didn't. We tried. Can I tell that story real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, so we tried to grill out, right? We went downstairs. We're like, we'll go down there. Because, there's like no one ever down there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know where we were at. So, like, there's no one ever down there using the amenities or nothing. We get down there. It's 2 families down there using it. It's 3 grills, though. 3 grills. So, it's like, it don't matter. But no propane in none of the grills.
Yeah, I was going to say. You expect me to believe that all 3 grills are working? Fuck off.
Well, it's crazy because the building that we're talking about, there should definitely be 3 grills working at all times.
Everything should always work in that expensive ass building.
But I didn't have time to really like call maintenance and all that stuff.
Right.
I had time to do all that. And it's 4th of July. Like, anybody coming to help us is going to be a pain.
That's emergencies only.
Yeah, so I was just like, you know what? We had the food on the grill, though. Check it. I got one of the grills to work. It was fire coming out. You know what I'm saying? Not much coming out. I didn't have much time, you dig?
Yeah.
Man, how about one of these pendejos? How about one of these assholes? How about one of these fuck nuggets that was wanting to fucking grill his food came over and cut my shit off?
Cut it off?
On quote unquote.
Wait,
accident.
Whoa, what?
Yeah, he cut our grill off. Now, mind you, 9 and everybody else is over there. Nobody said nothing to this motherfucker. I went down to go grab. No, 9 wasn't there. 9 was with me. I went down there to grab some friend of mine. Yeah. And then we came back up. They were like, oh, they cut off the grill. Fuck these motherfuckers, man. Why didn't y'all hit them in the throat? Why didn't y'all tell them to stop? Something. So anyway,
So wait, I'm sorry. They walked up, turned off your grill, and what, took your propane tank?
No, they realized, oh, damn, I turned off the grill and I can't get it to come back on. Why couldn't they get it to come back on? Because I was using the last remnants of the tank anyway. So then when they fucked it up, I had it closed because I was like, this ain't gonna last long, but I can keep
the heat inside.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, I've got the perfect plan. I've done this before. I've been here before. It's not my first rodeo, as people would say.
Yeah, right.
But you know what? Fuck them fools, man. Just wanted to say that. Hopefully you're watching. Shout out to y'all if you're watching from Chicago.
And if you are, don't forget, subscribe.
Yeah, if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe and smash that motherfucking like button like this motherfucker Othelius. What up, Othelius? What up, Morgan? What up, everybody watching from all the platforms, man? We really appreciate y'all. We cannot do this without you, but Alex.
Yeah.
I mean, actually, we can't do this without
I was going to say.
We will do.
It'll be a lot less fun.
Just us all shouting out to the voice.
Yeah.
No one cares.
I'm certain that a lot of YouTubers do it without anyone.
I was just like,
oh, man.
We actually really can.
Athelia said in the chat, you have legal grounds to squabble up with this motherfucker.
Legal grounds, yo, you cut the fucking propane off on my turkey. I mean, off my chicken, fool.
Yeah, that's not cool.
Bro, wait. Okay, and so there was food on there, and they turned it off.
Yeah, exactly, dog. I was like, yo, y'all know that's disrespectful, man. Why did y'all do that? Let him do that. But anyway, we took the food upstairs and cooked it and got it.
I had the opposite problem on the 4th. I go over to my pool way later than everyone. I'm like, there's families here. Let them get out of the way. I go over there. The grill was still on, and no one was there. And it's like, bro, one, that's a good way. These aren't cleaned well, so that's a good way to start a fire. But
all that grease.
I mean, what are you doing with just wasting this propane? That being said, thank you, because now I don't have to turn it on, and I can just turn it back up. And
I'm very angry, but I'm very angry. Shout out to them people who helped you out with leaving it on, though. I think that's what happened with mine, though. People left it on, and then
well, and that's the thing. I would get into that fucking situation then.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Shout out to the person who was after you who had no propane. Shout out to you.
I don't give a shit about that.
It's just I'm giving them a shout. I don't know what the shout out is supposed to mean, but I'm giving. By the way, also we have a giveaway going today. That means we're going to give you some merch today. That's all right. You got to do is make sure you comment in the chat. If you don't have a comment, you can't win because we're going to pick randomly from the comments that are here. It's completely random. Last time, dude who won, House TV. Shout out to you. You have not followed us on Instagram. You have not followed us on Twitter. You have not DM'd me. You will not collect $200. It's like, what the fuck? I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure you got other things to do, but yeah, he not getting no shirt.
He ain't getting no shirt. But yeah, if you guys
we gotta have a limit on niggas responding.
Yeah, that's right, guys. If you like, we're gonna do a random grab from one of the people who commented in the live chat, and you will be getting
that guy wins.
You will not
seem smart.
You will not only you will. Hey, I got. He's in the running. You know, he's thrown his name in the hat. But yeah, if you will not only be getting
off one comment,
you'll not only be getting a Drunk Banthas t-shirt, you will also be getting not one, not two, not three, but every single issue of Sweet Tooth in honor of the new Netflix comic book.
Oh, we're gonna do that too.
That's a damn good deal right there.
A t-shirt.
Yeah, and that is
funky.
It's not going to be cheap to ship because there's a lot of comic books. So, guys, we love you a lot.
Well, exactly. Good news. Paper doesn't weigh a lot, so I'm sure it won't be bad at all.
No, not at all. And also, this is like this is something of like $100 value, right? This is a prize of like $100 worth of value.
Yeah, actually.
I mean, honestly, issues go for $2.99 now. So if it's at least 25, 30 issues, yeah,
plus a shirt. So
shirt,
and you're gonna hit 50. We're gonna hit.
And whichever one you don't want, you could give the other one away to one of your friends.
Or buy your friend one because you got one for free, so you can buy one.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what I think you should do. I mean, if I was a good friend, that's what I would do.
I mean that's what real fans do.
You might not be able to get one of these because it ain't winter time no more. But you know what? We got mad crop top sweaters, and we got mad sweatpants and shorts and short sweats.
Got a lot of good stuff. Oh shit! Look at Jeff is wearing some of that sweet merch.
Man, get your boy, man. You know what I'm saying? Holler at your boy. It's the best way to help the channels. It's also the best way to help Nerds at Night because right now we do have a what is it? Oh, and as always, we're talking shit, Samurai.
I love that one.
That's right.
And as always, we're talking shit, Samurai. Go check it out. We'll talk about it.
I'm so happy.
Yeah, guys, if you want to see all the cool merch that we have with our dub name on it, you can check out our merch store at
it's also got
the YouTube channel. Yeah, it does. Just get a couple more plugs out of the way. Just want to remind you guys to tune into the Bantha Bunch every Thursday night, hosted by your favorite cousin's favorite cousin, Bill. Do you guys know what you're going to be discussing this Thursday?
We're going to be talking about Supercell.
That's
right, bro.
Yeah.
Talking about Supercell, bro.
That trailer does look pretty dope. There's a lot of really evocative imagery. I haven't gotten around to watching it yet.
Suggest everybody watch it, Jeff. I know you're gonna fucking love it. It's basically Black heroes, like the TV show Heroes,
right?
But with Black people.
That sounds awesome.
It's British Black people, by the way. British Black people. It's in London, South London.
Wagwan.
So probably not African Americans.
No,
right?
No, which is good. That means there won't be any social divide in America over the.
Yeah. Luckily, no one will care about.
They're British, so they don't think of them as real people.
Also, just real quick,
I don't know what I'm talking about. Don't message me.
Yeah, definitely check out the Bantha Bunch. Why would I say that? Bantha Bunch this Thursday, so you can check out them talk about Supercell, and I'm sure they're going to be talking about more as goes the show. But this Wednesday, also look out for our interview with actor Nick Corleone from the hit martial arts drama series From the Mind of Bruce Lee, Warrior. It was a super fun conversation. We're definitely going to have him back on. He's definitely said that he's going to hop onto an episode that doesn't hold up in the future.
Hell yeah.
That'll be super
Might
fun.
Just have him come on here, man. He's also the voice of Timon for the last 14 years on the stage, play the Lion King. So shout out to him. Real celebrity. We got a god coming up on Wednesday. You know what I'm saying? A god. So shout out to him. Also, he's a friend of the show, man. Like, fuck that. He's not.
This time it's actually true.
Yeah. You know, those are logistic things that we got to, you know what I'm saying?
They're just not friends of the show yet, Jeff.
No, legally, he's a friend of the
show. But now with all the plugs out of the way, now that we've whored ourselves out a little bit, let's get into the
15 minutes of whoring.
15 minutes of whoring, yeah. That's 15 good minutes.
That's a good day. That's a good work day.
That's a good well,
or one long client. I don't know.
But let's
for us in tangents, that's amazing.
That's not bad. That's not bad. But yeah, let's get into the Bantha book club, because guys, he's like family. Y'all just hate him because he's light skinned. Yeah,
I get it.
Would you like to share with the people what you've been reading?
I would love to. We are back to Shadow Doctor. We are on issue number 3, and if you remember, issue 2 ends with Nate finally getting the money and the key to his storefront from Capone, and while he's in the alley, the club he was just in blows up, and Nate looks over, and one of the mobsters is just lying there in the rubble. So this issue 3, opens up in Tuskegee in 1915, where Nate's talking with his dad in the middle of a field of cotton. Pretty awkward start, but then it's very quickly revealed that the reason they're there is Nate's dad is the dean of agriculture. So I don't know where for. They don't mention a university or anything, but he's out there and he's looking at this field because one of the professors, Professor Carver, needs a field to start growing peanuts.
Hide white. No, sorry. Every time that's just the first.
No, it is a Professor Carver who's looking for space to grow peanuts because he believes this could be the new richest thing in the South.
Historical foreshadowing.
Right. So Nate and his dad are talking, and his dad alludes to Nate's mom saying something to him, and he's just like, "Don't believe her. She's just, come on, she's talking on her ass or whatever." So then the next scene, we see Nate's mom wake him up in the middle of the night and sneak him away from his dad's house. So from there, it goes to Chicago, and we're watching as the mob's leading Nate into this room, and it's a room, not yet. It's this room where they're just like carrying the guy who's in the rubble, who it later is revealed was Mad Minute. They're carrying him and Nate into this room, and Nate just keeps like saying like, he needs a hospital. What are we doing? We have to take him to a hospital. And they're just, no, not happening. We're not going to do it. And Capone's like, what the hell are you talking about? We're at a hospital. And it's like, this isn't a hospital. And Capone's like, this is the storefront we were giving you for a hospital. You're a doctor. You'll do. And Nate's like, no, I can't. There is a piece of shrapnel sticking out of this guy. And the problem is, I don't know. It could be in an artery. It could be in his heart. If I try and take it out of him, he could die. So I'm not going to do it. And now Capone's getting pissed. Capone's yelling like, listen, stop mentioning hospitals. Stop mentioning all of that. Stop saying you're not going to do it. You're fucking doing it. And he pulls a gun on Nate.
Oh, shit.
So now Nate is standing there with Capone's got a gun in his face, and Capone's like, you're going to fucking do it. And Nate's like, I won't. Here's the thing. If I don't have, I don't have the stuff I need an x-ray. I need a scalpel even. I need lights, like all this normal stuff. And Capone, he's like, I can't do it. I took an oath. And if I don't at least have those things, I will be hurting him. I won't be helping him. And Capone's like, are you seriously going to die over your oath? And Nate's just like, yeah. And Capone's just like, all right, that was the right answer. Good. Okay. And he turns to the other mobsters. He's like, you guys got to go get some stuff. You got to get it fast. Yeah. And then it cuts back to Oklahoma in 1961. And we see Nate as a kid again. He's just like falling off a cliff. And he just wakes up in this guy's house, and the guy gives him like this cup of tea. And it's like, here, drink this. And it's a type of medicine. And so now Nate's like pestering this guy with a ton of fucking questions. What'd you make it from? How does it work? Can you use it more than once? And the guy's like, dude, stop. All right. You want to know about this? Fine. But I'm not just going to give you my, I'm not just going to give you this information. You're going to have to get it the same way everyone else does. You're going to have to, go through a lot of like frustration and toil. And if you still want to learn this, fine. Come back tomorrow. I'll start teaching you after you answer this riddle for me. And the riddle he says to Nate is, the infant is unaware it has been eaten by the wolf. To which Nate says, is that a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds crazy.
Then it just cuts back to Chicago. And now we see these mobsters going all throughout the city. One of them's walking into a hospital, and the nurse is like, that's the employee entrance. He's like, shut the fuck up. I need this stuff. You're going to get it for me, or you're going to die. And she's like, so what do you need? And starts going to help him.
Back then.
Right? We see two other mobsters just stealing a shit ton of prayer candles from a church. But then when the father catches them, they're like, hey, we're so sorry. We promise we're not stealing anything. And he's like, what are you doing? They're like, donating. And then there's just like a giant, like, pew full of cash. They just left a bunch of cash. So they threatened to kill a nurse for an x-ray machine, but they pay way too much money for prayer candles.
Catholics.
Right? Gotta love the Italian mob, man.
Gotta love those cafeteria Catholics.
And I think it's also supposed to be pointing out to us that like the mob obviously had this weird twisted sense of justice, but this is also part of the reason why all the common people stuck up for them. Like these guys, yeah, they're doing bad stuff, but they're still like giving things to the community and they're building up their community as well.
Right.
Random one, nothing to do with the book. I don't know if you guys know this. Capone's the reason we have expiration dates.
Talk about it. What the fuck is that?
Al Capone's niece once got deathly ill and almost died because she drank some old, outdated, tainted milk. So Capone learned like that's why she almost died, and he is one of the big things that pushed for expiration dates on food and beverages. That's why we have that now.
Yeah, criminals get shit done. That's historically.
Yep.
Yeah.
Here from if you watch the Drunk Banthas, that's what happens.
Yeah.
Villains get it done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where we said that before, but that's if you watch, you know.
The real ones know.
Right? So we cut back to Oklahoma, and we see Nate just running some weird errands for this guy. He's like hauling hay, he's like cutting down trees and stuff like that. And the guy keeps asking him, like, asking him the question. The infant doesn't know it's getting eaten by the fox. And he's like, are we the fox? Are we the infant? Tell me the truth. I just want to know. And he's like, you gotta figure it out on your own, man. I told you got to figure this is going to be frustration and toil, which I mean, like, really, I think he's just trying to like get this kid to do his farming for him and stuff, but whatever, get it done. Yeah.
It's pretty clever. When I have kids, I'm going to just give them a whole bunch of riddles.
Exactly. 100% while telling them that you're teaching them medicine, I guess. Anyway, so then back in Chicago.
I'm going to roll some medicine right now.
Oh,
all right. It is medicinal. So back in Chicago, we see Nate and Capone looking over an X-ray, and that's so they still steal an X-ray machine, but the reason they stole all the prayer candles was that's how he's able to look at the X-ray, which I think is just hilarious. But so they're talking about it, and Nate again is like he has to go to a hospital. And Capone's like, don't you fucking start with that again. But Nate's like, no, the thing is, like, you can see it, but here's the thing. I can see the shrapnel, I can see the bones. That could be puncturing an artery, that could be in his aorta. I don't know. So we have to get better imaging. I can't operate on him. And so now him and Capone are arguing back and forth. And Capone's just like, just fucking fix him already. When this other guy who's standing off the side is like, guys, gentlemen, and they look over, he's like, he hasn't got a pulse. I'm like, fuck. So Nate like runs over and starts feeling, and he goes, no, he's got a pulse. It's weak, but he's got one. And that's when Nate's like, shit, I gotta do this,
Yeah.
So now it's in this scene right here. We got a couple pages of this where instead of a full page Oklahoma, a full page Chicago, each panel starts cutting back and forth. We see Nate operating on Mad Minute, even though he's got the barest of bare bones to go by. Then we see Nate watching this snake slithering out of its skin and leaving the skin behind. It goes to Nate looking in the wound, Nate pulling the shrapnel out. It goes to Nate watching the really examining the skin of the snake, and just like seeming to get something, and then it ends with Nate talking to. It ends with young Nate talking to the medicine man, being like, there is no answer. And the guy goes, huh? And Nate just goes, that's the answer. The answer is there's no answer. Some questions don't have an answer. And the guy's like, good. That's the nature of medicine, which it is confusing as shit. But at least this time he elaborates, and he goes and he's like, here's the thing. We're not always going to know why things happen to the people or how things happen, but we do know how to fix it, and we do know how to help heal them. And that's when you realize, like, that's why this is what's being juxtaposed with what Nate's dealing with in Chicago. Because while Nate obviously is struggling with a crisis of conscience, I mean, he's literally helping a murderer out. Their oath is to help anyone. It's help. It's not help the good people.
Yeah.
So it ends with the last scene we see of this guy is him telling Nate, okay, you figured out the answer. Come back tomorrow and we'll actually start your training. And then in Chicago, it cuts to Nate and Capone talking, and Capone's like, is he going to make it? And Nate's like, as long as he doesn't get an infection, yeah, he should pull through with flying colors. And Capone's like, good. We're going to need him because the one thing I was hoping we would never have to do again, we're doing it. And Nate's like, what's that? Capone just goes, we're going to war. And that's the end of that issue.
Oh, dear. That
Nate, yeah.
That is incredible. I honestly, like, you're making me love.
And it's a true story.
Yeah, it's insane. And the whole story with the old man that he's learning from kind of reminds me of like a Kobayashi Maru type of thing.
100%.
Like the lesson is that, you know, there isn't an answer to every question, and you have to be able to accept defeat at some point.
Especially in medicine.
Especially in medicine, like you have to have like a really strong skin for that kind of shit, because you're gonna lose patience. You're not gonna be able to save everybody. So I think that. And
one of the things this guy mentions earlier, he's like, you want to know the things that I learned from my ancestors and their ancestors and stuff. And like, you might not catch it the first time, but I mean, it's 1916. This is, you know, they're still not getting proper education. These are things that, you know, probably from the slave times, they had to just pass down this knowledge through that literal hard work, blood, sweat, and tears to the next generation. And only a select few were able to really hold on to, understand it, and then pass that on as well. So while it's kind of like, at first you're like, why does he just fucking teach the kid? It's like, no, he wants Nate to understand just how hard it was for African Americans to be able to own this knowledge. And it was really good. It was, upon your first reading, you're just kind of going through it like, okay, whatever. But like on second and third readings, you're really getting the rest of it. And it's a great fucking story. And that's the other thing. This is Nate's first, what are they called?
Surgery?
Yes, surgery, but patient.
Oh,
this is Nate's first patient ever. And he literally saved his life.
Fucking crazy. Right? It's like putting up 40 in your first NBA game. That's
right.
Like 50.
Yeah, it's probably like 50. That's a pretty bad first patient.
Opened up a motherfucker's body.
Yeah, that's some Michael Jordan numbers. Athelia said Nate's better than me. I would have folded. And Fifth Bantha said, yeah, that's what billionaires try to pull on us now. A few good deeds or some donations don't absolve their wrongs. Talking about how Al Capone is like, you know, good person to some and a terrible person to others. And Ophelia said, who said crime doesn't pay. And I feel like he said it in one of these kind of accent. I can go twice as high. God. Jeff, thanks so much for taking us down the Bantha book club.
Absolutely. I'm having a blast rereading this book. So
I'm having a blast mixing in this reading rainbow. Whilst also trying not to receive a copyright.
It's a delicate balance.
But I'm enjoying myself. I feel like a DJ.
We'll find out if we won at the end of the show. And guys, also, you'll find out if you won a comic book or t-shirt at the end of the show. You guys just have to put in something in the live chat comments and you'll be in the running. So yeah, at the end,
right.
We'll do a random draw and give away some prizes. But for now, let's move on to our second topic. Let's move on to our second topic of the night. We are going to a galaxy far, far away. We are talking about Star Wars, The Acolyte. This was an interesting episode. Oh yeah, gotta get that good. Best thing Star Wars has ever done is that fucking song. Let's talk initial thoughts.
I think that they're saying, hold on, Bantha.
Oh, you think
go on, Banthas? No, that's not what they're saying.
That's what I heard.
They're probably saying that, but in Greek, I think.
That's Banthas, right?
That's
there.
Banthas. There's a B. There's a very audible B there.
I don't know. Shout out to you, George Lucas.
I think he said this nigga look like Al Sharpton. I'm not sure who he's talking about. I
don't think it's me.
Beat me by a second. So yeah, let's talk about the Acolyte. Let's talk initial thoughts of this episode because it's
talk about
there.
The doctor dude.
On Nate. Okay.
No,
Nate.
Oh,
the other dude.
Oh, the old man who's teaching him. Okay. Yeah, he does have some Sharpton vibes.
I'm
He's
gonna
got some
bring him
Sharpton.
up right.
Mr. Medicine Man.
Yeah, no, he does look like Al Sharpton.
Yeah, young Al Sharpton.
Young
yeah.
Al Sharpton with the pressed hair.
Yeah. If he had a jumpsuit on, he would definitely be like he'd be giving Al Sharpton for sure.
Is that a question? He said, "Hey, my name's Al Sharpton. Only if you can answer a question. The infant is unaware. It has been eaten by the wolf."
Is that a question?
I don't know, but find out next time here on NBC. This is the Al Sharpton Show, and I'm Al Sharpton.
Nate had the absolute response any of us would have. Is that a question?
Is that a question?
That's what
Yeah,
people say. That's what people say to Al Sharpton on a daily basis.
Well, that's because every sentence ends in a period, but his voice goes up at the end of him anyway.
Right.
Period, into the period, and he's always yelling. He's the only person who he was on NBC. He'd always be yelling. Like,
oh man,
yo, my guy, you got a microphone on?
yeah, all the way down.
It's like that episode of The Office where they're Holly's like, "Can they hear us?" And Michael's like, "Not if we turn the microphones off," and he turns it all the way up.
Let's talk initial thoughts on this episode. There's not a lot that goes on plot wise. There's a lot of character development. Our characters are kind of reacting to the events from the previous episode. But let's get initial thoughts. Bill, what were your initial thoughts on this episode? Corrupt/teach, or the other way around.
I got one for this.
It don't matter. None of this matters. It don't matter. None of this matters. Why are you pouring me? I'm right.
There we go.
They're just talking audio clips.
There we go.
Okay.
I don't have to say
That'd
anything
be a
else.
good episode.
I don't have to say anything else. Oh man, that would be a good episode. I only have I've got like 16 banks. Oh no, 26 banks. I can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. It's gonna be like a Bumblebee episode where you just like speak random other audio clips. Athelius Maximus, his initial thoughts were not a lot can happen in a half hour. Disney needs to let shows either run longer than 30 minutes or give more episodes in a season. That's Athelius dropping some knowledge on you guys. You had to give it the drop that it rightfully deserved.
That's right.
Patrick, what were your initial thoughts on this episode?
So first off, this same issue we've had in a lot of Disney shows.
Mm-hmm.
This episode could have worked, could have, if it wasn't episode 6 of 8. Way too late to be pulling this shit. Now, that being said, personally, I really liked half the episode. I think another third of the episode could have been. I liked half the episode. Another 40% of the episode could have been one scene. And then the green lady walking around could have just done without it.
Yeah, she's becoming one of my least favorite characters. She's not really interesting. I know that she's like a legacy character, but I don't give a fuck about any of that.
Honestly, the only interesting thing she's done so far is, now we have light whips as canon, and she's the second purple lightsaber. That's canon.
Yeah, first of all, I'm so glad that you said it. I'm mad about that, first of all.
I'm guessing the purple lightsaber part, not the light whip.
Yeah, no, purple lightsaber. Light whip, I'm kind of almost mad about that too. You know what I mean? Like,
I just don't get how it's practical.
It's exactly. And also, it's never been the lightsaber is a sign. Like, hold on, I'm angry, so I'm like not completely cynical.
Getting hot under that collar.
Very, very upset. But so the whole point of the Jedi is they're like knights in our time, in our universe, in our reality. The comparison is knights
are
of the
samurai,
round table, because they, you know what I'm saying, like they have a council, they don't have a leader, you know what I'm saying, they train under each other, they're
big on honor.
they're big on honor. They have a squire. Their Padawan is their squire. You know, the lightsaber is a sword. It's not a whip. And not my opinion. I was gonna say my opinion. The best Jedi of all time, Obi-Wan Kenobi, would always talk about how uncivilized blasters are and all that because of how civilized the art of fencing or fighting, you know, styles like that are. So that pissed me off, but it didn't piss me off as much as her having a purple lightsaber. Bitch, the fuck? Unless they say that that's Mace Windu's fucking mama. Nigga, I'm mad. I'm hot.
It was kind of jarring to see. I wasn't jarring. Ooh, nice. It was a little jarring to see because that was like I've never seen the lightsaber do anything like that physically. But you know, I'm willing to give it a pass just because like lightsabers are like in general physically impossible to like. There's no way to stop a laser from going just like yay high. Like
someone's not in tune with the Force. Okay.
What laser do you know that they got right now anyway? Like,
I mean, there are such things as lasers,
but they don't blow things up.
No, for sure. Yeah, which is like, yeah, this is a highly fictional.
I'm just saying, I can stop a laser with a lot of things.
It's a highly fictional weapon to begin with, so it's like when you try to bring logic into it, it's like whatever. But yeah, it was.
But here's my thing.
I like it.
Here's my thing. You use a whip to like grab stuff and pull it towards you. Not doing that with a lightsaber.
Not at all.
Yeah. It's a weird contrivance of that. Like, I'd rather see a double-bladed lightsaber than see
the terrible way that it's been used throughout history is to cause abuse and whip people with.
We've also, by the way, gotten a dope use of a lightsaber that's not standard in this show. We didn't need the second one.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Now, also though, what I will say story-wise, you know, with all that out of the way, hate. Without all that out of the way, though, I will say to the story, I think it does matter because
the purple lightsaber matters.
Yes, purple lightsaber matters because what we find out about. Well, I don't even know this is what's wrong with this show. I don't even know the Sith dude's name. What was it?
Oh, Jason Mendoza,
Smilo Ren,
Patrick. Is it Patrick?
Wrong answers only. What's Jason Mendoza's real name in the show?
Yeah, put it in the comments. Wrong answers only. What up, Film Age? What was I saying? Oh, yeah. The reason that the whip works, the whip lightsaber works, is because we find out that Kylo Ren has Smilo.
Yep. Because his helmet looks like it's got that creepy ass smile.
That's right, Smilo Ren. He's a member of the Insane Clown Posse. This motherfucker, emo ass motherfucker. He has, as he get butt booty naked in this episode, we see he has whip marks on his back.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
And so now to me, it's been revealed. It's no longer a question as to whether or not it is the case. It is now fact that you don't even got the back photo.
Yeah, I couldn't find the back photo.
Back photo, nigga.
Which by the way,
see this nigga's titties, man. Don't nobody want to see this nigga's titties.
Ain't nothing wrong with seeing Jason.
Hey, whoa, speak for yourself. By the way,
I'm pretty much done with
this scene. It's okay. Remember in what was it? The second one? Was it Last Jedi that we saw Kylo Ren shirtless for just no reason?
Yeah.
I was like, okay, we get you're trying to thirst trap, but at least make it make sense. This makes sense. He's covered in all this dirt and grime. He's got to wash it off at least, and he's trying to test Osha and see like, hey, what can I get away with? What will I get her to do? Things like that. So this at least made sense for our thirst trap. So I feel like Disney's learning a little bit, not a lot. A little bit. Like they went from a C- to like a C.
Okay, yeah. And let's get into. I do want to talk about this scene in more detail, but let's talk about the opening on the Jedi ship of Kafar. Interference disrupts Soul's attempts to contact the Jedi Council. A partial message about losing his whole team makes it out to Coruscant, and Soul asks May to help fix the ship's power, still believing her to be Osha, and she is attacked by Basil.
Basil.
May, you sound like you're from London. May overpowers him and resets the power. She tries to get Soul to tell her the truth about what happened on Brindok, but when sneakily, very sneaky. Well, I mean, she was being super obvious, honestly. But
for May, that was sneaky. I mean, girl being sneaky is like, hey, look over there as I try to stab you. At least this time she's like, well, like maybe I'll wait to stab him till after he tells me.
Yeah, she's using some logic. May seems kind of like a dum-dum. But she overpower. Sorry. That's what happened earlier. Yeah, after the power is restored, Soul discovers that she is not Osha and stuns May and leaves with her just as Venestra and a small band of Jedi arrive to investigate. Now, I thought that this moment was pretty interesting because this is the first time we really see Saul do something super shady, because this is basically the intergalactic version of running away from the police. Like he just like
and he is the police.
Sorry,
yeah, and he is the police.
So I wanted to show this before you move on. Wanted to show this the scars.
Right.
That we were talking about, and they don't look like multiple whips, like a whip. They look like one or two.
Well, I mean,
really,
it looks like if a lightsaber was a whip. I think you absolutely got that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, another thing to remember, purple lightsabers, they're Jedi who have like a really strong mastery of like fighting and things like that, but they got it by exploring knowledge of the dark side. Not going full gray Jedi, completely walking down the center path, but they've studied Sith tactics. They've studied dark side battle components and things like that. That's why one, it's very rare to see one, and two, why people are a little scared of them sometimes. So for me, it's either like, all right, green chick, either it makes sense because she pulled this shit off and like, all right, getting a little too dark sidey, or absolutely not. If she's just the goody, then she shouldn't have a fucking purple saber. That was such good timing.
Thank you for that little nugget of knowledge, Jeff.
Yeah, we're gonna be using that like we use everything else.
But no, yeah, I do like that, and I do want to get a little bit more into the theories and of Jason Mendoza's background as we get to that scene.
I just want to say
curious how you guys
is the
feel.
most positive review of this show thus far.
Oh, like
last week.
This episode specifically.
Oh, I think last week was better. We just went through it faster.
No, not ours. I mean,
just okay.
The ones that the commentary that I've seen for this episode has been pretty.
We'll get into that, buddy.
Yeah. There's some problems, but I do really like this scene. Like again, like Jeff, what did you think of this moment where Saul? Because like obviously Saul is grappling with some sins of his past.
Oh,
and now he's just like straight up ran away before the cop showed up. Like, what did you think of this moment?
I didn't have an issue with it, except again, it could have literally been one fucking scene. Like going back and forth between it. I get why you do it in a cinematography sense. Cinematographic sense?
Yeah, exactly.
Cinematographic.
Yep. But at the same time, like, all right, having little outer man smell her, and then like, oh, the droid shoots oil at her, then oh, she resets the droid, then oh, she does that. Like all the back and forth, we could have streamlined it a lot more. It was clearly the more boring half of the episode, so we didn't need to dwell on it as much as we did. I do think, however, that Soul, just like running and leaving, running from the Jedi because he wants to show May what happened and he wants to talk to her more about it. I feel like that makes sense. And I am going to feel a bit bad about this. I wonder if one of the reasons they had a little bit of trouble really getting that across is because this is Lee Jung Jae.
Mm-hmm.
This is his first English speaking role.
Right.
And like I think I read a piece of trivia where like he literally just learned enough English to say his lines. So I don't know if I don't feel like he got enough emotion through his half of this episode. And I feel like that's something that the director should have been working with him with. And because it makes sense for him to want to do this. But the entire time he looks more like harried than remorseful and like grief stricken, you know?
Right.
I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that he knows that it's May. I think he knows that it's May a lot longer than they put on. I think, but I don't think that they conveyed that well enough. Exactly. And I also feel like the reason he ran from the Jedi had more to do with the fact that they'll just take her in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
that makes sense.
They would all be able to read that that's not OSHA, and then they would all be like, "Oh no, we gotta take this bitch in. This is the one we've been looking for. What you talking about?"
Yeah,
you know she's like been killing people,
and you know the green lady. She's trying, like we heard from the first episode, she's trying to get this case closed.
Yeah,
and so there's a rush. Remember, she was like, "Look, we need to get rid of this before the fucking Senate finds out." So,
which we saw a little bit of that this episode. Exactly. We saw a senator straight up talking to her, being like, "Yo, people think you guys are kind of shady."
Exactly, and she is hiding shit, and so she is technically shady and then a motherfucker. She's not even telling the Jedi that she takes out on the rescue mission what she's up to.
Which that's got to be her Padawan, right?
Yeah, and
I think that's why she was the one who gave him the whips. And he said,
"Yeah, I hope he does too."
Somebody leave him.
Right. Yeah, like there's definitely somebody in the show that is from Jason Mendoza's past, and I'm curious. It does seem like all signs point toward her, as Soul is like some sort of a red herring, because we do get this moment where she does like her and her Padawan find the massacre and suspect that a fallen Jedi is responsible for. And Jedi Mog suggests that only Saul would be powerful enough to kill so many. Now, I do think that this is like
he
kind
was
of
dumb.
I think, he was dumb, and I think it was like maybe some sort of like influence from her, like kind of like I'll make you think that like it was your idea, kind of thing, and you'll accuse him. So I don't necessarily seem like the one who's trying to accuse Saul or like
very what's the guy with the little birds?
Littlefinger.
No, not him.
Varys.
That is very Varys of her.
Varys.
Yeah, right. Varys has the spiders.
Yeah, Varys.
Yes.
I gotta rewatch Game of Thrones now.
Yeah, Varys. He's the spider. He has
Travis got through to me, and I started rewatching some Game of Thrones just because of him.
D.
Oh wait,
it's a little early for that D.
But if you guys are wondering what I'm talking about, check out last week's episode.
Yeah, Travis Bennet. Shout out to Travis.
And a shit ton of shorts.
Yes.
But Bill, what did you think of this? Yes. What did you think of this moment in like that Saul could potentially be public enemy number one?
Now I need a public enemy number one drop. I didn't get that. I didn't feel that. So I don't really.
Well, I mean, just from like the inference from Jedi Mog was like, I think that he might be the person. Like the fact that they even planted that.
No, they said that. Could be, No. They said that he was the only one who could have defeated such a powerful Jedi because they could tell that whoever killed the Jedi there was a powerful Jedi using random techniques.
No. They were saying the person who killed all these people was clearly a powerful Jedi, and the only person who could be that powerful Jedi was Saul.
No, they were saying the only person who could have stopped him was Saul.
No, because that's why she says, careful with your accusations, right. A heavy accusation to make, or however she says it, which I honestly, at the time, I took more as them just trying to be like, hey, we haven't gotten across yet. So Saul's really strong. I did it.
Yeah. At first, that's what I thought they were saying too. But then I was like, wait, like now we're blame shifting towards Saul? This is kind of weird.
And I think you're right, where I think she's Varysing that whole thing,
trying to create a red herring. Oh man, we should get a red herring drop too from like Scooby Doo, a pup named Scooby Doo.
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Red herring. But
Nigga, that was a cut that was so deep. It. I think I felt it. It went through you into my side.
That is a Rod Stewart. That is a Rod Stewart. The first cut is the deepest size cut.
Yeah.
Jason,
that cut's so deep, it's emo. It's cutting itself.
Ooh, yeah. that cut definitely saw the used live at least 3 times. Jason Mendoza takes Osha to an unknown planet where he dresses her wounds. He claims to be a former Jedi who was betrayed by his master, drawing parallels to Osha's past. She is wary of him, but eventually agrees to try on his helmet, which is made from the lightsaber blocking metal cortosis.
Scooby, a pup named Scooby-Doo. We got you. We got y'all, man. Y'all know what's up. Look. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Real ones know, man. Othelia said real ones know, man. That show was fucking awesome. That's what I said. I was just paraphrasing what he said. And then Morgan said real ones or old ones.
Othelia said yes.
Same thing, nigga. Same thing.
Othelia said correct. That is correct.
Oh man,
Scooby,
Scooby-Doo. I do think that it is interesting, the idea of turning a good guy bad and turning a bad guy good, and it seems like that's kind of the way that the show is leaning as far as having Osha and May kind of switch sides and showing how easy it is for these different factions to manipulate someone who is emotionally vulnerable. But how did you guys feel about these scenes between Osha and Jason Mendoza? And do you believe that she's going to turn sides? Bill, I'll let you go first.
Is Jason Mendoza Asian or Latino?
He is half Filipino, half Chinese, but from Canada.
So he's all of them. He's everything.
Also,
that's
yes.
wild. That's wild. Also, like, Filipinos be having a lot of Hispanic sounding names because they're Spanish.
Yeah.
The Spanish came over there and
wait. Jason Mendoza is not the actor's name. The actor's Manny Jacinto.
But
his character on The Good Place is Jason Mendoza.
Jacinto is Mendoza.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure that Bill knew that we were just Jason Mendozaing because he's mostly recognized from The Good Place. And while we were first talking about him, we were talking about so many different Jasons, it felt funny to throw him in.
So it sounds like the Chinese part come from his daddy because that last name sounds Chinese. But anyway, I was confused because I was like, is this nigga Mexican or is he Chinese? This sounds crazy, Mendoza's. But anyway,
a little frothy throwing up the Filipino flag.
Yeah, shout out to the Filipinos. You know what I'm saying?
Do you see a flag there? I just see a teeny tiny PH.
Well, I guess it's the experience varies from different viewers. Fifth Bantha said, "Hey, cuzzo."
I thought she was just talking about the acidity of something.
pH balance is off.
pH balance is off on this video. I'm gonna have to switch over to a different Wi-Fi.
But yeah, do you believe that Osha could actually turn, or do you feel like this is?
I don't know. They're pretty serious about their safety requirements. Osha might not turn on nothing.
But I mean, it makes sense that she finally put on a helmet.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Like fucking Captain America. God damn it, Falcon! Put on a goddamn helmet. You the air. Sorry.
So you gonna say that's Captain America? You really gonna go with that? That's how you rolling?
No, I'm just saying that Falcon should put on a helmet.
He should, but I'm not ever calling that goofy ass nigga Captain America.
I mean, he's Captain. He earned the title. Steve gave it to him.
Shout out to you, Anthony Mackie. I don't like your acting.
I mean,
not even in The Night Before.
What?
Not even in The Night Before. Actually, no, man. I think that they could have done such a better job with casting for The Night Before.
How about when they did The Night Before lip sync battle and he did a pretty good MC Hammer dance?
You know what?
I mean, Joseph Gordon-Levitt fucked him up with his Janet Jackson, but still.
The H.O. Schwartz scene where he does the MC Hammer dance like while they're doing the Kanye West song.
Yeah.
That's the best shot in the movie, and it's no small part to Anthony Mackie's physical performance. But Michael B. Jordan in that role would have made that movie 10 times better, and people would have actually gone to see it.
Man, that's actually probably a better point, is that people would have gone to see it.
Ain't nobody trying to see Nigga Bird.
Shout out to Nigga Bird.
I saw it for Joseph Gordon-Levitt, but then again, I'm light skinned.
Well, yeah. Oh, well,
Right.
I mean, I watch everything that Joseph Gordon-Levitt's in because
He's
Gordon-Levitt's in
light-skinned.
it.
It's because Joseph Gordon-Levitt is light skinned.
Yeah,
He sure is.
he's light skinned. Yeah.
He Asian too, ain't it?
No.
I think he is 1/3 Asian, right?
Yeah, he Asian.
I think his mom's half Asian.
Whatever.
can't
I don't want to
remember.
hear these halves, quarters. You Asian.
I can't remember. I looked it up a long time ago. I can't remember.
Shout out to our Asian All-Stars.
Yeah, shout out to Asian All-Stars. But yeah, Patrick, what did you think of this scene? Like, do you feel like Osha is gonna turn, or do you feel like she's gonna stay committed to the light side?
So I don't know. Oh, no, he is not Asian. He is entirely of Ashkenazi Jewish descent.
Oh, okay.
Ashkenazi Zoo.
Ashkenazi, thank
That's
you.
technically Asia, but I won't give the details.
Right? Well, anyway, so I mean, I think they're going to make her turn no matter what. The question is how much I'm going to believe it.
Right.
That being said, I think Smilo Ren is doing the best version of a Sith turning someone that we have seen yet. Maybe not the best that's ever been done, but at least the best we've seen. I mean, Palpatine was so fucking heavy-handed. Snoke was just stupid. And, and then, we get the Emperor plus Vader trying to turn Luke, and he's like, nope, not going to turn. And then it's like, I'll turn right now.
Yeah,
All of it was just like, we get it. We get you're working on their emotions, and but you're not turning them to the dark side. You're just pissing them off and having them throw a fit, basically. Whereas Smilo he is not telling her what to do. He's asking her. It's Othelius. You just hit it. He's just asking all the right questions, and that's the important part. He's letting Osha do something that the Jedi never let her do: decide for herself. He is very smart. He is very good at manipulating. But here's the biggest thing: is I don't think he really actually cares if Osha turns or not. If she does, great. He'll use her. That'll be awesome. If not, okay, he'll just kill her.
Well, I think to your point, I think he does care a little. Like, yes, he doesn't really like it. It doesn't change his life if she doesn't join him. But technically, it does change his life if she joins him, because he already said to Soul, like, yo, he said, what do you want? And he was like, I want a pupil. So
yeah,
his desire is to have a pupil, but his desire drives him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's a part of what he uses to control the dark side of the Force, right? Or to tap into the dark side of the Force. So I think you're right, Jeff. He doesn't care, but he uses that lack of caring and also that want. He wants her, but he's like, fuck that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like, at the same time. So I think that conflict creates that fear, which creates that ability for him to tap into the power of the dark side. The dark side.
Agreed. Real quick, is this just a still image or is this the actual? Can you push play?
Oh no, this is a still image.
Okay. So one thing that you'll notice when you're watching this episode, at this scene, it looks like he's got all this faith in her, but it wasn't until my second watch through that I noticed when they pan to the side view of them talking, he's actually holding her arm. He's got control the entire fucking time, but it looks like she does, and he's letting her think she does. He's fucking smart.
Yeah, it's like a classic manipulating.
But also, he didn't manipulate May the same way, right? Like, he didn't let May know who he was. He wasn't intimate with her in a conversational, personal way, not like, bing, bing, bang.
I wonder if that has to do with their basic personality. May is just so aggressive and so angry and so revenge focused, whereas Osha is, while still clearly emotionally distraught, she's closer to a balance. And at least wants to believe she's good. It could just be that.
Yeah, like it does seem like.
I think to your point, that all plays on the dark side stuff, right? Like May is easier to. He may have felt like she was easier to manipulate with using just her desire, her anger, her revenge.
That's a good point
for it, and so he has to try to adjust his approach with Osha, like y'all were saying, or like you were saying, Jeff. Like I have I'm telling her things about myself. I'm getting butt booty naked with my body out.
He was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna turn her."
And she see this wang dangle. It's all over then. Yeah. She gonna be seeing me. She gonna be like,
He's like, "Oh, she comes in. She's gonna turn this lightsaber into a blaster." If you catch what I mean.
One of the things actually like the scene kind of reminded me of was Margaret from Game of Thrones that was played by I can't remember the actress's name now. She's in like
Oprah Winfrey.
Who are you talking about?
Is Margaret from Game of Thrones. She was gonna
Iron Fist's sister, right?
Yes, Iron Fist's sister. She's gonna marry Joffrey. She seemed like she was very smart and manipulative, but also like kind and caring.
She played one of the princesses. She was
Hightower.
She was in Tudor. She was in Tudor, and I think she is a Hightower.
She was in a movie called The Forest about her and her twin getting lost in Aokigahara, the Suicide Forest.
She was in.
It was not that good, but I like the Suicide Forest and creepy Japanese horror movies.
I'm talking about the girl with the big eyes, right?
Yeah.
Like she was on Tudors, and all I can say is
she wore the green dress, then you saw her boobies.
Natalie Dormer. She loves getting naked, boy.
Sure does.
She was this close to being Captain Marvel. She was on the short
we
list.
would have seen Captain Marvel butt ass naked.
Sure would have.
How much is it's in her contract with every studio.
I'll tell you what. I know of another Captain Marvel movie where you can see her butt naked.
What?
Okay, roll.
They make porn parodies of everything.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, is she in a Shazam sequel that I never?
The other day, I was thinking the other day.
I bet you're right, Terry.
I was thinking the other day, like people, first of all, I thought about this because somebody said that they was watching porn. I was like, okay, relax, dog. You was fapping it.
Oh, do you want me to turn it off?
I know you weren't watching it. Don't tell me you were watching porn. You were fapping it. Just tell me. I was fapping it the other day and I noticed. But like, I thought about it the other day. Like AI fapping is probably going to be like a huge thing in like 2 years.
2 years, dude. It already is. Some of the top porn stars are already selling their AI likenesses to their likeness to AIs, and then you can rent your AI porn star girlfriend and have her do whatever you want.
See, porn always starts. I mean, corn always starts the big revolution. You get a certain amount of time. Okay. You got to make it like vision. You can say shit, but only so many times.
The two things that drive American innovation and invention the most, and this is a literal statistic, are military and pornography.
That's right. Because pornography created online purchases.
And also are the reason we have so much 3D viewing and VR.
First off, before we go back to our topics, I just want to say two things.
It's her fault we're talking about it.
It's your fault. Look at the way you're dressed. I just want to say really quick. Yeah, this is Natalie Dormer when she was actually and had a small part in Captain America, the first Avenger. She's a great actress. I wish she was in more stuff.
She has no reason to be in that movie.
Yeah, she's super small part.
She is.
Was she the one that kisses Cap and pisses off Haley?
Yeah. And I was watching that movie the other day because I watch it every 4th of July. He was wearing the outfit. I was wearing the outfit.
Check out the Bantha bunch.
But I was just like watching in her very short part, like her movement, her delivery. I was like, God damn, this actress is incredible. I hate that she's not in more shit.
She is a very good actress, and she does deserve to be in more stuff.
And just to say, also like one of my favorite moments from Mythic Quest, which is a TV show that Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia created with Charlie Day, where they just talk about like the technology to dick ratio is very, very short. It's like if you give a community a shovel, they're gonna the first thing you're gonna do with it is figure out how to carve a dick in the dirt. Like that's the first.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say fuck the shovel.
Also, yes. But yeah, any
S word that I cannot. I have jokes, but I can't say them.
Yeah, well, sorry, we can't say shovel on the show. But any final thoughts on the Acolyte, or were you guys any predictions
Terrible
of where
ending.
we might go?
Stupid
forward?
ending.
Well, actually, I think the ending of OSHA putting on the helmet was great.
I thought that was terrible.
I think the soul flying off ending was just like, I don't care. I think the OSHA putting on the helmet was a good one. I did like that. I like that it's showing that he's getting through to her. I like that the only OSHA person in the entire universe is finally wearing a helmet. And yeah. No, I will say this though. I think that Smilo Ren, who by the way is still just billed as the Stranger, which I love. I love that.
Okay, so he doesn't have a name. That's why I don't know his name. Okay, well that's okay. That's better. I'm just like, did I miss something?
You did not. I think he is the most balanced Sith we've ever seen. And I really like seeing that. I like seeing, because like, yeah, the dark side is power, and like you get to it from like aggression and anger and things and loss, but that doesn't mean you can't still be a sane person using those things. I'm really liking how they're developing his character.
Yeah, I think that's I think they're not only, I think that his character is developing the backstory for the Sith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it's and to y'all's point, like we haven't really, we usually see Sith leaders and their Padawans where they already have an established relationship. We don't really get to see like the grooming stage where they're getting seduced into this lifestyle. And very much
also, if the Sith existed centuries before, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the Jedi destroyed them.
Mm-hmm.
So that long ago that it's not a common term anymore. Right.
And that means that there were more than one. I mean, there wasn't a power of two established yet. So that means that I believe, hold on. I believe that this is telling us that this is the story of the power of two. I think we might get a Empire Strikes Back-esque ending for this show. At least I'm hoping so. Because that will redeem it to a certain level, a certain degree.
That would make this Darth Bane.
Ooh. The one who started the power of two?
Mm-hmm.
Yo, son, put it down, write it down. Darth Bane. We just talked about it right here. This nigga's name is Darth Bane. It's now see. Remember when everybody thought it was what was it, the WandaVision? They thought it was going to be
Quicksilver.
Mephisto.
Mephisto. They thought Mephisto.
Yeah, Mephisto. Yeah.
And so I think,
and it was Agatha all along.
It was Agatha all along. So I think we're gonna get here is this is Bane,
Darth Bane.
Darth Bane. That would be insane. And he kind of yoked up too. He kind of yoked. Yeah. For a Jedi, I've never seen a Jedi yoked like this.
Yeah, and like honestly, nobody.
Star Killer.
Even
Christian, wait a minute. Who is Star Killer?
Star Killer is from the two Star Wars video games, Force Unleashed.
He was CGI. Those are CGI buses.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name? Sam Witwer, the actual actor that they used for him.
Oh yes, well yeah, Sam Witwer.
Who, by the way, went on to be Darth Maul.
Yeah, he loved him in Battlestar Galactica.
But I think that well, first of all, he is the most yoked live action Jedi for sure. Well, no, wait a minute.
Well, he might be the most cut because I think that Adam Driver was actually stronger.
I'm just saying like yoked. I'm just saying like just look.
Kylo is like Iowa muscly. Like he's just like he looks like he could be a good cornerback or something.
He's a former Marine.
Yeah. He's Marine strong.
But see,
He's Marine strong.
All Marines are
Usable muscle, not show off muscle.
Right. Yeah,
all
he's not hot girl fit like
every
Jason
single
Mendoza.
Marine. I'd say 90% of Marines are bad football players. Put it in the comments. If I'm wrong. Put it in the comments if I'm wrong. God damn it.
I mean, it's Army versus Navy. I don't see no Marine versus Navy football games. Come on.
All I'm saying is that a lot of our athletes can't make it, and only so many people can make it to a professional level, and a lot of people suck at the goddamn sport. So a lot of our military is full of characters, people
helping people.
Were bad at sports.
And with that little tidbit, let's move right along to our next.
Well, no, wait, we have to do the rating.
Yep.
Oh, sorry.
All right. I'll give you 2 bits of info on this. 5,809, and it is not the highest rated.
Wow. Okay.
Not the highest.
What is the rating? We're not going to guess because we're going to make sure we save on time. But
all right. It is rated 5.1. Last episode, Night, 6.6 was the highest. But that's not the biggest bullshit. You know what the biggest bullshit is? The series overall, 81,566 votes, 3.5 out of 10.
Damn,
Fuck you,
really
hater bitches.
You know what? And you know what? It makes me mad
Go
because
outside, nerd. Get out. Go. I ain't got time.
seriously, because it makes me mad because I'm like, yo, this show is not that bad. Then I'm out here criticizing it, and then you make me feel like an asshole. Internet. What are you doing?
The thing is, we're giving legit criticisms. We're not giving the why is it so fucking woke? Since when are Jedi's woke?
Like literally, I've not seen anything that you could consider woke in the last 5 episodes.
Yeah,
like not even at all.
Yeah, woke is just like a buzzword for things that people don't like nowadays. It seems like
woke is the appropriate way of saying, hi, I'm racist and sexist and ageist and whatever, and a xenophobe.
Right.
Yeah,
I'd vote for Homelander a second time if I could.
Look, can I just make a can I make a service announcement before
Hey, thank you for asking. No.
Yeah, go for it.
Can we hold on. Can I get my camera? Can I get my camera?
Yeah, go for it. You got your solo.
Listen, ladies and gentlemen of the African American persuasion. I don't mean to exclude anyone, but I just have to hear I'm talking to my African American brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
What I have to go ahead and make sure we stop doing. There's certain words that we should stop saying, and we stop saying them because white people find them and they get hip to them, and we're like, oh, it's not cool no more. But this one right here, woke, it's been manipulated, turned into crazy shit that we don't. I have a proposal. Black folks, we need to quit making up words. We don't need if we make them up, we don't need to say them in mixed company.
Yeah, because you know what'll happen.
We will ruin them.
You know what'll happen? You know what'll happen, Jeff?
Why
he'll take it?
Why?
Oh, just me. Okay.
He'll take it.
Whitey will take it and he'll be on his way.
That's right, Jeff. Whitey will take it. Be careful around yourself.
It's what we always do.
Be careful.
Why do we have to ruin good things?
This is
be careful around your peers, Patrick, because I don't want them to take.
By the way, I think the first time I actually heard the term woke, still such an amazing Gambino song.
Yeah, I know. And that honestly, white people ruin that song too.
We do.
Shout out to Snow the Product. Shout out to Snow the
right.
Product, because she also had a big campaign for Stay Woke.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah,
all her
she
merch,
did it before. It was
all her merch is like worth nothing now. You know.
Well, the funny thing is going to be at some point the conservatives are going to start like buying it to make fun of the liberals. Now it's just going to come all the way back around.
It's going to be like Clerks 2 with Porch Monkey.
Right?
I'm taking it back.
I mean, I was going to go with how the first conservative president was Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
That party's kind of gone the other way.
lots changed. But we have a knock at the door. We have a special guest. Oh, it's producer T up in the building. What's up, bro?
None, chilling. Got me a new hat in the mail. Timu.
Oh,
Timu?
I like it. I like it. I like the ears.
He's gangbanging.
Timu.
Shout out Timu. We out here.
I've been hearing that they've been killing me with those ads, bro. Like Timu is like, they got that marketing money.
Dog, god damn it, I'm mad. Because I haven't seen any of that shit, and now I'm about to see it nonstop.
Oh, yeah. Now that you said it
out loud. He's wearing shit. Everybody's fucking saying it. God damn
Timu.
it.
Oh, god damn. The Timu clone is in the building as Athelius.
I finally got rid of the emu, goddamn commercial. Liberty, God. What is that? Liberty Mutual? Oh. Liberty. I'm tired of these.
Now you're going to get a bunch of scores for the New York Liberty WNBA team.
I need to check that actually.
Actually, they lost it.
Come on, Underdog Fantasy. Give us some money, man. Come on.
Producer T, I see you were dodging bullets like the Matrix, try to skip out on this Star Wars talk. But now we are actually getting into the nitty gritty. We're talking about them boys.
All right, so I'm here.
Yes, since you are joining the conversation, what were your initial thoughts on episode 6 of The Boys, Dirty Business?
Boy, this show is it's vindicating for me that it's getting so bad because so many people wanted to trash the comic book, acting like Garth Ennis wanted this shit to be some kind of philosophical breakdown when he admitted that this was just trash for trash sake. And that's why I like The Boys, because it was trashy, it was bad, and there was no if, ands, or buts. There's no hiding it. And now with the show trying to be highbrow and everybody's, dogging the comic book where it got its inspiration from, and now it's become trash. I'm just like, haha, that's what you get.
So wait, sorry, are you saying that?
Wait a minute, because you said two things there. You said the internet doesn't like it, but I don't know if I heard you say, and you said that the you like the books more than the show, but I don't know if I heard you say what you think about this episode and this series so far.
Oh, this one was just as bad as the last one, if not worse.
Oh, so before I because I'm curious, like, so it sounds like you're not a fan of this season compared to previous seasons, but are you saying that Garth Ennis pulled an American Fiction and he was just like, let me just write trash for trash sake, and it just kind of got popular on accident? Because I haven't heard this take.
I wholeheartedly believe so.
Okay, yeah, I really need to.
I just remember like one key interview he did where he used the words, "I'm just going to out preacher." So if you like read Preacher,
which he did.
That was like just trashy garbage for fun's sake.
Okay.
So if he's gonna outdo himself on that, then I was like, you don't really have to tell me much extra. So like this is like that scene, wasn't it Training Day where he's like, I'm reading bullshit, because this bullshit entertains me, and now you've interrupted my bullshit. So please entertain me with your bullshit.
I do need to know, Othelius, what are the things that you had to delete from your mind after that episode? And are you referring to how much you didn't like the episode, or are you referring to how this episode was?
I'm pretty sure one
is this is white boy freaky. Let me just say this right now. This is white boy freaky. If you didn't know what that term meant before this is what it means. If you haven't seen this episode and you're wondering what I'm talking about, go watch this episode and you will know.
They start fucking. It was gross.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about that ending later on.
Yeah, Jeff, how did you feel about this episode, man?
Yes, God, this episode was just fucking rough. It's hard to find redeeming points in this episode. It really is. Honestly, the best parts of this episode are the parts where I'm like, I think I see the real world or the mainstream superhero stuff you're alluding to, and I think that's fucking hilarious. I mean, I get Huey having a breakdown because he misses his dad, but like, Really? You're gonna roll that into the he got wet drawn on his face discussion? Like,
yes, he
you know what?
was actually assaulted.
Yeah, and I will say, I mean,
Will
at
you?
least in that moment, I really connected, and we'll talk about a little bit more about that scene. But I honestly like really connected with him in that moment because it was our dad passed away last year, and there'll be like
some feathers.
Say again?
After someone came after you with feathers?
No, before.
Got it. Okay.
Condolences. Like there have been moments where like something like tedious and like sort of like annoying or whatever will happen in my life, and then I'll just be like, fucking miss my dad. Like that, like for whatever reason, like some just bullshit will just happen in your life, and it'll just make you think of just like this other traumatic, sad thing in your life. So I totally connected with that.
The craziest is when it's a random smell and you don't consciously figure out that's why you're all of a sudden thinking of this shit.
Yeah. It's
I can't wear Old Spice or be around Old Spice at all.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's just not having nothing to do, and like I'm a big caller of people, and like it's like not having nothing to do, and like who should I call? And yeah, his number is still in my phone, like in my favorites.
Yeah,
I'm like, who has this number now? Like, if I call this number, like what is gonna happen when I call this number? But yeah, there's moments that definitely hit you. Go, Jeff. What were you about to say?
No. Finish your thought.
No, I was just gonna swing us right back into.
I was just gonna say, for me, it's always right when you forget, right when it's not occupying your mind, and you're like,
oh yeah.
And it's exactly what you're saying. Like you're not consciously thinking about it, so like something happens, you're like, oh man, I can't wait to call him. Oh fuck. Yeah. That's when it always hits me, you know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's me all the time. I always called my dad for every dumb shit thing I did, and I do a lot of dumb shit things, especially now more than ever. So it's just like I have no one to call, and someone would be like, "What the fuck are you doing, boy? Why?"
Hey,
yeah.
I'll go out on a limb and say this: you can always call Bill.
You can. You can always call me at 323-680-4101. Hold on, where is that banner at?
Bill, I mean, Bill's happy to hear dumb shit.
So that's a
boom. There it is. 323-4101. I knew I got it right. Look at that. Look at that shit. Oh yeah, you can change it back, man. I just wanted to put up the number, but anyway,
you need a reference.
Yeah, you guys can come and hang out, and we'll talk about dead fathers on the Bantha Bunch show, 7 p.m. Pacific time.
That'll be an episode.
But check out our podcast, Dudes Without Dads.
Dudes Without Dads. But this episode, Timmy would have thought that shit was wild.
You know who would really be able to understand us?
Who that?
Huey.
I thought you were about to say Homelander.
I was gonna go with Homelander, but since they mentioned Huey in this one, I figured let's say Huey.
Oh, little baby Huey. Let's get into the craziness of this episode. Amit said, "Hey guys, love from India. Thank you so much for the comment."
He's the winner. He's gonna win. He's winning the contest. There's no way we're gonna be able to send that back.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll send it. Amit, I'm gonna say this now. If you win the contest, I will personally be the one paying for the shipping to your country.
You're gonna fly it over with yourself.
Check it out, Amit. Listen, Amit and everybody else who may have just joined us in the last hour or so, we are doing a giveaway at the end of the episode. We're going to give away some comics that I don't remember, and then also we're going to give away some apparel. And apparently, if you win, Amit, you might be getting some pins from Terry's T Pins. So make sure
I might see you in person. You never know where I'm at.
Yeah, right.
Exactly.
At least one of the clones.
It's a random choice. It's a random selection. We have no control over who would win. So if you want to win, the better chances are to keep commenting. The more comments that you make, the more likely you are to win. Right now, I think Ophelia's and the 5th Bantha are
they're stuffing the ballots right now.
Stop the steal. Stop the steal. Go in there and make some comments and you can win, man. Don't let nobody fuck you. I don't
Tell you what, Stop the Steal takes us right back into this episode, doesn't it?
Yes,
That's right.
Lock her up.
Man, we
the
got
boys
nothing
learn.
but fucking segues.
Yeah, let's talk about the beginning. Well, one of the storylines going on in this episode. The boys learn that Tech Knight is hosting a party at his mansion with Newman and the 7 in attendance. They infiltrate the party by disguising Huey as the Soup web weaver. Now, I'm curious what you guys thought of the introduction of this universe's Spider-Man. I think it's kind of a common joke that an alternative Spider-Man will shoot webs out of his butt. Venture Brothers did it. Even one of the Spider-Man movies did it, where Tom Holland asks, "It's like, so is that the only place where webs come out?" But producer T, since you're the resident hater of this season, what did you think of just like Web Weaver and this plan? Because this plan seems bad. No,
it was such a horrible plan. Are these like Mother Milk's ideas? They've just turned him into such a useless character who's bad at planning. But my whole thing is like nobody's heard Web Weaver's voice before. Do like people not? I guess they're trying to say he smells so bad that nobody's really around him to talk, and like, and it kind of makes me think: did Tech Knight really know that it wasn't really Web Weaver under there, or did he actually just figure it out at that moment? Because like I thought he was supposed to be like a super good detective.
He's got like super detection.
I think
and then like
he had the cloak on him. He had the funky cloak on him.
Okay, but that's just the smell.
Well,
He's also got super eyesight. He's also got super taste, touch, hearing.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. What I'm saying is he won. So as funky as they were making it to be, he sounded like he was like homeless people funky. You know what I'm saying? Like when you walk by somebody that smell like they peed and shit on themselves, and then they also are on their period at the same time. That is what it sounds like they were dealing with.
Oh my!
Plus, we don't know what that. We don't know what. We also don't know what that butt web smells like. So I'm just
well. But you just brought up something. That the exact reason no one should have fallen for it. There's a hole in the back of his fucking suit with a little claw mouth that just looks like a normal fucking back to everyone.
That is
it didn't look like it could ever like close up and be normal.
That is a fact.
That was weird. Like it seemed like it should have been.
Didn't do a prosthetic on him.
At best, it was an extra sphincter.
This is another thing. It sounds like it's insinuated that they've never actually met Tech Knight and Web Weaver. They've been talking online, right?
Right.
So I'm assuming.
The way all good relationships start.
There's no way that they were talking any other way if they haven't met, right? Like if they're talking or on the phone, but they haven't been talking in person. Right. And then a lot of people know who Web Weaver is, but they're just like, ew, Web Weaver. So I think it's just a situation where he's such a fucked up, weird individual that no one actually fucks with him. And Tech Knight was like, oh, I know this isn't up to your level, but we're gonna go way up after this. I was like, yo,
I was like, God damn,
dude must be off. You know what I'm saying? Like he might.
Are you saying Tech Knight was distracted because he was just so horned up?
Yeah, I think he was like so excited because this is like he's
his kryptonite is S&M.
Because even though we saw Web Weaver in like a weird state, they did mention in a couple episodes ago in the crawl that Web Weaver had just gotten out of rehab. So we do know that when we see him for the first time, and they mentioned him in the episode where Butcher destroyed Elijah, they did mention him because that's how they got the information, because they had to, because he says, what did he say? Heroin enema don't come cheap.
Yeah.
So we know that they've been setting up this moment, and he's also a informant for the boys, for the CIA. Right. So to a certain degree, he must maintain some type of anonymity.
Yeah.
Right. Enemas. He must maintain a certain amount of enemas to keep people from knowing who he is, or knowing much about him is what I should say. And he's a heroin addict, so don't nobody really give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Like they treat him like a pum rag. They treat him
literally.
They treat him like a pum rag. Literally, exactly.
I did feel like that this plan was kind of bad just because of like the like Tech Knight is so intuitive. I felt like this is really walking a tightrope, having Huey go in there because
Definitely.
Huey is.
I do agree it was
Huey,
a bad idea.
Yeah, Huey is habitually just not good at blending in. Like he's not
Yeah.
good at pretending to be somebody else.
Well, except he was accidentally really good at it at the soup orgy in last season.
Yeah,
because he teleports without clothes.
No, he's actually. They do this with Huey all the time. They send him in spaces where he is the only one without powers, and he could die. I think the issue wasn't that they sent Huey in. It just feels because this is an operation that Butcher would run as well.
Right.
It doesn't go well, so we go, oh, that was a dumb idea. Had they written it out where everything went, according to plan, which nothing ever does for any of their plans.
Yeah, most of the boys' plans are bad.
Not most of them. They're all bad. The best one they had was episode 1, where they blew what's his name's butt up.
Oh yeah. And that took a whole episode of planning.
It said 2. It was episode 2, so that's 2 episodes.
And that was after they almost fucked it all up because he did still escape. He just escaped. Like if he had escaped one day earlier, that bomb wouldn't have been in his booty.
Yeah. So my point is that I don't think that this show has changed in any way, shape, or form. I think that the nostalgia for people who do or don't like the comics has worn off, and whatever you have been ignoring or giving a pass is now sticking at the forefront of what you're watching, because they've gone so far from what the books have done that now they're telling their own story, and people are the outrageous doesn't outweigh the movement or how malleable they're making the storyline.
It's like we're watching the Five Stooges,
right?
Instead of like this crack CIA team that got the job done and put a boot to the soups.
Well, they do have a lot of
hijinks. Not intimidating; they're just annoying.
They do have a lot of hijinks in the book, though. They do have a lot of shit that goes wrong sometimes, and but to your point, they are not being portrayed as like the elite superhuman, like literally superhero, superhuman killer.
Yeah, because like they would have like a plan A in the book, and it'd be some kind of espionage deal that would go wrong, and plan B would be fucking stomp them to death, and then they do, and it's like, yeah, okay. But this one is like they got to go through like 5 plans of them just fucking up shit, and then the superhero probably accidentally dies as they fell on something or choked on something to death. It's just.
I didn't.
It's never really their fault that they win.
In the books, are they working for the CIA?
No, working on them.
In the books, are they working for the CIA, or are they just out on their own doing their own thing?
No, they are backed by the CIA, and the CIA has cracked the code to
Compound V.
Compound V, yeah, Compound V.
Because when you're watching this, you just keep wondering, why would the CIA keep approving of these guys?
Well, though, like to Terry's point, like why would the CIA not have synthesized their own Compound V by now? Like it's the CIA. Like if the boys can get into the vault and infiltrate and create assets or snitches, for the lack of a better word, if they can do that, why then the CIA hasn't done that and synthesize Compound V yet, so that their guys can be on Compound V,
right?
Because Temp V gives you cancer, but Compound
no, it gives you fun brain slugs,
right? It gives you fun symbiotic brain.
Never be alone again.
Slugs, brain cancer slugs. That you'll never be alone again. But Compound V, not Temp V, gives you powers. We've seen it, right? We saw Olivia not have powers, give her a shot in the back, bitch about die. Now she got throat monkeys that come out, throat tentacles that
Yeah.
come out and face. You know,
Throat monkeys.
they eat your face. Monkeys eat people's faces. That's all.
Yes, where my mind went.
That's all. Yeah, it's like lemurs and monkeys eat people's faces. That's the only thing I could come up with. But anyway, yeah. So I think that should have happened when we got last season and we got introduced to the ability to take Compound V and the Temp V and taking Compound V. That just should have been something that the boys did. That would have pacified the people who are hating it right now. Not saying they would love this show right now, but that would have pacified them because now they're just telling their own story. You got Soldier Boy getting killed or allegedly getting killed, and then what's her name?
Maeve
allegedly getting killed, even though we know she's alive.
No, they put Soldier Boy back on ice.
No, I know, but I'm saying like
Just
they did
not in the narrative
they did
anymore,
the theater of him being dead.
Oh, right, like to the public.
To the public, yeah, and just like Maeve, she's not dead either, right? Like, but she's
a Cyclops,
but she's quote unquote dead. And it's like
right,
those motherfuckers like were dead in the comics, so like why not do that? Like just end it. So like,
that one's simple. There's
ahead.
a simple answer to that one. Because they got Jensen Ackles that they can always bring back now, especially since we got Jared next season.
And we forgot the other one because Maeve is fine as hell. So it's like we got these two sexy stars. Why are we gonna get rid? What are we gonna do?
Well,
Arab Crickey's running this show. He wants his supernatural boys wherever he can get them.
Oh yeah,
he just had his supernatural buddy in Godman.
Oh, yeah, they're definitely bringing him back for sure, and I can't wait for eventually. And I'm calling my shot right now. Can't wait for Maeve to show up in the penultimate episode of the final season.
Yeah,
showing up in an eye patch just like Thor did in Infinity War.
You know, right? Do you think she's been like prepping her strength and trying to get as strong as Homelander?
Yes,
yeah, because I don't think she permanently lost her powers. I think she's slowly getting stronger. Oh, the V's pumping back. I don't know.
Right. I think that her fear of Homelander wouldn't keep her from doing that. But before we move on to our next part of the episode, I just do want to say real quick that I do feel like one of the most affable things about the boys is that they're underdogs, and in those first few seasons it was cool seeing them be able to get all these things done without any resources. And this season could have been more like season 5 of Angel, where we see like this ragtag team get all the resources in the world, see how they react to that. But it seems like the boys are acting the same way. They're still having these bad plans that sort of work out, but it doesn't seem like it should work that way since they have all the resources in the world with the CIA. That's the only nitpick I would have with the season so far is like they're acting like the boys, but they also have the CIA behind their back. They should change the way that they do things, but still have that. Well, like Angel season 5. Go watch Angel season 5.
So also for the viewers, if any of you can find every one of Alex's mentions of Angel and let us know, we can super cut that all together.
Yeah, I got a dude who really want to try to use for editing and helping us out with editing, and yeah, that'd be a good
new task.
But to your point about everything y'all have talked about, I really haven't had a big problem with, but I do understand. I completely understand where y'all coming from, and especially from the viewpoint of the people who have watched the source material. Mm-hmm. I mean, read the source material already, and now watching it, trying to be fans, and you might have even gotten to be fans like in the first 2 seasons, and now you feel like you're going down from here.
Right,
but I don't think that has to do with the storyline, really, the main storyline. I really do feel like it has to do with the fact that they aren't able to make the boys themselves, outside of Huey and Butcher, worth us being invested in. Now, they don't have a lot to work with from the comic books as far as personality and backstory, but what they do have is writers. So like, let's write a story for it. You know, like let's be creative. And Frenchie and Kamiko's relationship is probably the biggest weakest link.
Well, I'm just
saying they don't know what to do with either one of those characters. And then what they ended up doing is making them attached to the hip with each other because they very much so didn't know what to do with either one of them.
Mm.
They don't know what to do with MM either. But what they really don't know what to do is with these two, let's attach them together. And now their relationship is played out to the point where they fucked up is they got rid of the will they or won't they?
Mm.
Because now that there's like, oh, they won't. So what the fuck are we doing here?
Well,
and
that brings up a question I had.
In the prison for no reason, like none of that makes.
Bro,
I told you they didn't know what they was doing with this man. Just like they were given a perfectly good blank slate character. They had a little bit more background on Kimiko, and they didn't know what to do with them. Like, just
they started him off awesome.
They started fine, and then they just got. I don't know. It's like when you go to one of those like do-it-yourself yogurt shops and you get overwhelmed by all the topping choices that you just didn't like stick to an idea of 2 to 3 things and you went fucking overboard. And the next thing you know, you got like fucking like Starburst and hot fudge and peanut butter on some cornflakes with gummy bears. Might sound good. It's not going to be good for you, bro.
I'm going to tell you that description.
All right. But I got a question for the group.
Yeah.
What's that?
Are Annie and Huey still together? I mean, the way they act in this season, have we seen that? I don't remember the last time I saw them.
I want to say they kissed last episode and we're like, "Bye, see you later, babe." Yeah, I want to say they kissed each other. And
I honestly don't remember. Later. And I get that they're going through some stuff, but I mean, like, man, you're making it seem like they're just like teammates in this season.
Well, I mean, like they've definitely gotten to the point where they're just like they're going like now they're going steady. Like, you know, they're very much like
it doesn't even feel like that.
Like they've been dating for a while and they just like have like a very like normal familiar relationship where they don't have to be like holding hands and shit like that. But like, you know, we see moments where like they've kissed and they obviously have a strong, intense relationship with each other. She goes in to kiss him when he has the Web Weaver costume on, and then she's like, "Oh wait, you smell like
okay,
deep in
that's right.
And goddamn,
yeah, it's like broken dreams.
You smell like a child's despair, nigga. What the fuck?
But speaking of despair, let's talk about what happens later on in this episode. When Tech Knight discovers Huey's identity, they enter the mansion to rescue him. MM shoots Sage in the head before he has a panic attack, and then A-Train saves MM, rushing him to the hospital, and Sage survives because of her rejuvenation powers
of her brain.
Annie and Kamiko save Huey and restrain Tech Knight. The three antagonize Tech Knight until he reveals that Homelander and Sage plan to use his prisons as internment camps before he is killed by his butler Elijah. There's a lot going on here. I first want to talk about A-Train a little bit because he has this hero moment.
Crazy. Did you even say his name in that description?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that was very about A-Train that you said it.
There's a lot. Yeah,
he mentioned that A-Train had to run MM to the hospital. Which, by the way, whoever was like, "Yeah, go ahead, you can shave your beard." No, shouldn't have done that.
Who?
Oh, A-Train.
The costume designer should have been like, there is no chance I'm letting you shave your beard, man.
Who?
MM.
Oh, yeah.
He looks like a different fucking actor.
You know what? Yeah, that's what everybody thought too. Because
he lost weight.
But if he had the beard still, it wouldn't have been as noticeable in his face.
I agree. Yes, I agree. That was too much change.
Yep.
You know what? This whole season would be a whole star better on IMDb if he had not shaved.
So the A-Train thing, I like that. It was kind of cliche, them setting him up, having that hero moment, and like getting that good feeling back in him. You can tell what they're doing. They're setting him up to like take the heroic fall later because of it, which like to an extent I like that sort of thing, but not in The Boys. The Boys isn't supposed to be that type of superhero story, you know?
Right.
So it's like you're just it's the lowest of the hanging fruits, and you got a hammer and everything's a nail. I mean, just it doesn't always work. Also, like, I get that he's helping the boys and everything, but the idea that he would take that chance in that mansion to get MM out, I just can't buy that.
Yeah, I mean, what they did was they wrote themselves into a corner when they made A-Train black in the first place. So, and Terry will probably agree with me. I can't see his face because Alex has another screen up and I can't see anything.
I'm nodding my head.
He's nodding.
Yes.
As soon as you said the race swap thing, I already started going, yup.
Yep, they already put themselves in a corner because one, A-Train is white in the comic book. Two, he dies in the comic book. Three, you can't kill the nigga in the TV show.
You can if you give him a heroic last stand.
Right. So therefore, he has to do all this shit, and he can't, he can't just have a regular, oh, I'm a terrible person and then I die ending. Like, he can't have the same ending. So let's just say the Deep dies in this series. He can't have this. A-Train can't have the same ending as the Deep. He can't have the same ending as the Invisible nigga.
Which is why I'm thinking the Deep probably won't die.
I could absolutely see the Deep living because they try and make you love him just enough, even though he's a piece of shit.
Yeah. He's like the Vanilla Ice of this universe, where he's like, sometimes
he's gonna run away into the ocean and do something goofy.
That'd be a good, that I could see him going into the ocean and fucking all of the oceanic animals. I could see that. But he's also the most likely to be able to be a good person in the 7. As much fucked up as shit as he's done, except for the New Noir. I guess the New Noir.
Sorry. The Deep or A-Train?
The Deep. Because A-Train
now.
Because to me, A-Train's no longer in the 7. Like, A-Train ain't been in the 7 for a whole 2 seasons. Because when his heart was about to pop and Annie saved him, that was the end of him, because no one else gave a shit. No one in the 7 gave a shit about him. He was already on the edge with them as far as like them caring about him, because he was seemingly less useful.
Right.
Even though they don't actually save anybody or do any actual shit.
Well, so that's why with A-Train doing this, it was such a turning moment, because not only is it not scripted, but he saved someone.
Exactly.
Like, okay, we get it.
Yeah.
But no, they definitely gave that "you about to die nigga" moment. Like, just so.
By the way,
I don't know.
I'm sorry to
smiling at him too. I was like, I'm surprised Homelander didn't just show up right there and zap everybody.
And I gotta say this. I'm sorry to keep harping on this shit, but one of the big points of him in the show is he sounds like a fucking train when he runs. No one in the mansion hears it.
Yeah, I mean, there was
a lot of things that went on in the mansion that just didn't make sense, like the gunshot going off. How many people got super hearing just chilling?
It's okay, it's a silencer.
Nobody heard that gunshot.
It was a silencer.
Huey, the doofiest of everyone in this, is slipping every bug possible. It's in front of Sage.
No. It wasn't Sage. I'm just saying. That was, why would the Homelander not hear those things? I'm just saying.
Why would Tech Knight not?
No, yeah, and like even like one of the first things I thought before Huey even walked into the mansion was that, oh, Homelander is going to be able to hear his walkie-talkie just because of his super hearing, and that doesn't even come up.
But they didn't talk to him. He was just
But I mean,
he wouldn't have been able to. I'm just saying, he can't hear what's not being said.
What? So they talked to him. They asked him for
because they say, Huey, we need a check right now,
and that's why
when he starts talking about, oh, look at these orchards. I really like the orchards.
Yeah.
They told him at the beginning to do 2-minute checks. I don't remember him.
No. Terry's right where that's when he was like, oh, are those orchids?
They communicate with him directly, and then when he goes into
okay, and even if they don't. I remember Homelander doesn't hear Firecracker and Annie getting into a fight. Like, there's so many parts that are just like, come on.
He doesn't smell the gun going off. To
me, that's been the whole series, though. And that's what I'm saying is like, The entire series, because the only reason we're having this conversation is because they established in episode 2 that he can hear all these things, see all these things, because he's looking for what's his name?
Translucent.
They're looking
Right.
for translucent, and they can't find him. So he's like, "Look, motherfucker, I'll do it." Well, why couldn't he have also heard all these things beforehand? It's because he can hear so much that he's like Superman. He has to isolate that shit. He can't just be listening for everything unless it's something that's big or something that he gives a shit about.
I would say a gunshot being real close to me would be something that would jar me out of my.
Yeah, but this is the thing. This season, we've already established probably like 7 times in this show, that Homelander is zonked out. He is zoned out so hard, he's not even hearing anything around him. He is literally like in this space where he's hearing just white noise. So I think that that's a part of it too. Like he's barely holding it together, and he knows he can't just wipe out all like a 20%, 30% of Congress in this meeting. But we do have that moment where Sage has been shot in the head. She's eating the cake like crazy person, and these congressmen and one woman giving him a lot of heat, and he's like, "Yo, I will fucking kill y'all!" Like that's where he was going with it. And then your girl, she came in and she saved the day.
Let's talk.
It's like the one part of the show I did like with Newman getting real.
Yeah,
Jeff, did you take yourself off or no?
Yeah, he went to
right back.
Homelander and Newman convinced the senators to rally against Singer. This was an interesting scene because
do you want to come back?
He's back.
Yeah, he wants to come back.
Okay, I was just saying you have to.
I had to potty.
I didn't even notice it because I can't see anything when Alex goes to change his stuff.
But this was an interesting scene because the reluctant Newman seems to be spearheading this preeminent coup. What did you guys think of this whole internment camp angle? And do you guys feel like Newman knows about this? Because like we kind of get a hint that she doesn't know. But how do you feel about her like spearheading?
I'm gonna answer that. I'm gonna answer that. I feel like I'm gonna answer that, but then I'm gonna read this comment first.
Okay.
Othelia says, "This is the problem with making a hero like Superman. You have to make plot holes for them for the sake of the plot."
Yeah,
and I think that this is their way of filling this plot hole. Like, why didn't Homelander just laser everybody and then take over the government on his own? It doesn't matter. Well, they're using her character to fill in that plot hole of, because the congressman and woman are asking the questions that are the plot holes. They're trying to fill the plot holes. Like, nigga, how you gonna kill out the military? What you gonna do with the Justice Department?
Like, have you thought about the world?
Have you thought about how this affects the economy and all this shit? And she comes in and she pacifies everyone. And seeks the power that Sage was insinuating she should take earlier in this episode.
Yeah, that was a really cool conversation that they had. T, I'm curious how you felt about Newman's decision to kind of step up, because she kind of could have just like stepped back because she doesn't fuck with any of the people here. She doesn't like any of these. I don't fuck with you. And she's obviously seems very reluctant to just like lead this coup in general, but she kind of steps up and
lead a coup.
And see, this is where Sister Sage comes back in, because remember, right before they go to this little meeting, Sage has this like pep talk with her where she's, tells her about her like little past, talking about, I had the cure for cancer to save my grandma, and these fucking white men just laughed at me. Fuck all these people here. Let's really get this shit, girl power. Let's do it. And then, the homegirl just looks at her and was like, cheers to that.
Yeah, don't we feel like
while her Homelander fucking up, that was like her moment. She seized it. She knew what she was doing. So I was like, yeah, this is basically the only part that I did like. Because let's go back to, does she know about Tech Night and the prisons? And I'm just like, I fucking hope so. Because the more I think about this whole plot of them trying to figure out what Tech Knight was up to with Homelander and all them. I was like, well, don't y'all have Google? Y'all couldn't put 2 and 2 together? He's planning a coup. He wants the superheroes to take over. Tech Knight gets all his money from private prisons.
Yeah, but
What else were they gonna do? What else was he gonna do with them? Like, y'all could have just stayed at home to figure that shit out.
I think they thought he was just gonna kill everyone.
In his prisons.
Yeah, I think that they just assume he's going to kill people. I don't think that they assume he's going to try to take over until this episode. I don't think that that's actually an assumption of theirs, which has been a lot of the problem for book readers and just general people who've had issues with this show so far. It's like Othelius was talking about, like when you have a Superman-like character, it's very hard to fill those plot holes because otherwise, honestly, you shouldn't have.
That's a big plot hole of trying to figure out.
It's like watching a movie it's like watching a movie about a guy who has his daughter kidnapped when he was like right there dropping her off at school. But it's like, yo, nigga, if you'd have just looked around, you wouldn't have had your daughter kidnapped. Like, come on, bro. Like, she got kidnapped right there. Like, come on, bro. What are you doing? And you're supposed to be this badass motherfucker who, you know, goes around the world killing people. You got all these certain sets of skills. But how did your daughter get took, though? I mean, that just happened to you. So it's like, you have to create this plot hole for the sake of the plot.
But
like,
You
didn't see that coming?
Yeah, I'm just speaking to what Elias was talking about earlier.
Yeah. But like, just for this plot hole, it was just one that didn't need to be created. Like, Tech Nine could have been like, well, he has Wayne Tech. What have they been doing? Oh, recently we found out he's been buying up prisons. Not like just like, oh yeah, he just owns prisons and now he's gonna use them for the bad guys. Like, well, okay, duh, no shit. I could have figured out.
It felt like a little bit that was unknown to the public as well, though. Like, because
the whole boy came out like just renting a stunt on A-Train, being like, you know how I got this money?
Yes,
it's niggas.
Exactly. And
now I put you niggas in prison.
And that's why I feel like it wasn't public knowledge, because I don't feel like he would be able to have, like, you know what I'm saying? All of these characters, the superhero characters, care about their public image. That is what they get off of. And I feel like that is his situation here. Tech Nine.
Tech Nine.
No, I'm just joking. This is Tech Nine. No, he's Tech Nine now. Tech Nine's issue is he's rich from a way all this other shit.
Yeah.
Like, everybody think he's rich because he's famous. He's actually rich.
He says that's not entertainment. That's generational.
Right, exactly. Like,
and that just makes an offhanded,
But
really
still,
cool joke about catching
Googled
A-Train's
the man.
ancestors.
Yeah, I'm not saying you can't Google him. I'm just saying that's the life we live in, right? Like, we find out things about people every day now, it seems, that the shit happened 30 years ago, 20 years ago, but we also just now hearing about it today, and they're getting civil lawsuits.
Well,
and
I mean, it's also
sorry.
No, go ahead. No.
We got to move along just because we still have a whole ass show to talk about. But I do want to just shout out some of the
that on the docket at all.
Just want to shout out some of the comments. Othelia said, gaslight, gatekeep, girl boss capitalism. If you say that 4 times, AOC will show up and kill your conservative uncle. Othelius also said shout outs to Kimiko for pressing the button to what are you doing?
Back up, nigga, goddamn. Back up the goddamn microphone. Jesus fucking Christ, this is goddamn same symbols.
It's gonna be okay.
No,
Othelia
like,
shouts out to
like,
Kimiko.
what am I doing? Like, I'm Jesus fucking Christ. I'm doing the same motion over and over.
Hey, it's gonna be okay. Othelia says shout outs to Kimiko for pressing the button to donate to BLM anyway when the white people were dragging their feet on it. Yeah, that was
the first 2 donations, they were pretty quick on, huh?
Yeah, they didn't even wait. Othelius also said calling a racist dude Tech Nine is crazy. Yeah, that's an interesting nickname for a racist dude.
Tech Nine the rapper.
Yeah, No, I was saying it was like racist guy, Tech Nine.
So, by the way, did you guys notice that Tech Nine's former sidekick, his gimp suit was red?
Yeah.
Clear call out to Robin, right? Because this is supposed to be their world's Batman.
Yeah, that was definitely his Robin. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a MVP of the whole episode. Fro show. He busted up off them things. He was like, let's get it going, y'all. Let me show y'all what y'all need to do to fuck this nigga up. Let me tell you.
Right.
But also at the same time, he was very interested in all of the sexual things.
How
that were
did
going on.
no one take his mask off?
Well, you didn't need to. I love that they didn't.
Yeah,
And I also love, like I said, I love that he was like very interested in all of the sexual things taking place. Like he's looking like, oh wait.
Huh?
Like there's points where he's trying to rip himself off, but then he's also like,
yeah.
oh,
Yeah, what's going on? Let me see what's happening.
Let's see how it works out. Like,
You guys gonna eat that cake?
he's like, I only got like 3 more yanks on this chain and this coming off. I just want to see what this looked like.
Right. And I also loved how his safe word was Web Weaver's safe word.
Zendaya.
But let's talk about the.
I wonder how she feels about that.
Oh yeah,
I know. I
take
know
a shower
she
after
was,
that.
I feel like I know she was watching when that happened.
It's like, ugh, I just feel like it just did another season of Euphoria. Firecracker tells Homelander about her encounter with Annie at the end, realizing that the mole is still alive.
Oh, I'm gonna give you that.
Meanwhile,
I'll give you that one.
oh, thank you.
I'll
Meanwhile, Butcher forces Samir to replicate and enhance the virus strong enough to kill Homelander. When Samir reveals that enhancing the virus could potentially kill every soup on Earth, Butcher is pressured by Joe to continue, but discovers he is a hallucination as the real Joe died years ago.
Whichever one of you called that, good call.
Yeah, this one.
Twas me.
I think
And
that
actually, you want to hear a funny story? So we were watching this episode in Chicago at the crib, and it was me, Nine, and Terry. We were like, we're gonna watch a show that we're gonna cover. We're gonna watch it together for the first time. We're gonna watch it in the same room
beautiful, man.
together,
That's
right?
beautiful.
Beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Nigga, we were so drunk. It was right after. It was right after we did the podcast.
Right. Oh, nothing.
I was like falling in and out of sleep. Actually, when I rewatched it, Terry, I realized I actually didn't fall asleep through the whole thing. I just kept dozing off and snoring. But so because I was like, but I couldn't remember what happened right offhand. But then I woke up at the end, and Terry was like, "You were right," and I was like, "Yeah, I was right." All I saw was that I was right. That's the only part of the movie.
Bill wakes up today. It's just like, I know.
Yeah. Like, what are you talking about? I know I was right.
Nine didn't remember the episode at all.
Nine didn't look like he was going to remember what happened the next day.
He did not. There were several things I told him and pictures I showed him where he was like, "What happened?" And I was like, "Yeah, bro, you were going at." He was like, "Why didn't we do this?" I was like, "Because
we ended up at Lincoln Park Zoo, man." I don't remember that.
Honestly, I've had some episodes that doesn't hold up that have ended that way. It was like, wait.
We should have definitely told him some crazy shit that he had did. Othelius.
Bro, you tried stealing Sue's big toe. What the fuck?
Yes. You tried to lift the bean, dog. What the fuck was that? Othelius, I swear to God, if you have not watched that episode from Thursday,
it sounds like he did from that last comment.
Yeah.
He did say Nine was tore up from the floor up.
I will say real quick before we get into the ending of this episode, I recently saw Maxine in theaters.
Ooh.
And I took some cold medicine. I took 3 shots of tequila. I smoked a bunch of weed, and it pretty much
woke up 4 hours
I pretty much
later.
had the same situation with you and the boys. Like I dozed off all the way through that movie, and I know what happened, but I still need to see that movie again.
No, when you go watch it again, you're gonna be mad like I was when I watched The Boys. I was like, "Fuck, I already seen all this shit. Every fucking bit of this shit. Why did I rewatch this shit? I've seen all of this shit."
One of those like you're surprised for like a second, then you remember everything from that surprise.
Right,
dude, it was so annoying. Ophelia says I did the other day. He did watch the episode the other day, and y'all go check out that episode.
We did so much planning to like get the episode to film, to set up the cameras, to like be ready, how we're gonna shoot it, to make sure we had all our equipment, that we forgot to remember a fucking topic besides actual Foley, which we had just watched because we were bored that day, and we were like, let's just watch this. But we forgot the most important part was talking about.
Topic.
You know, what are you gonna do? You know, honestly, well, BTS, that's every Thursday. But I'm usually not drunk as I was, and I don't have any distractions, so I can just come up with something on the fly. But there was no fly. My fly was open in this scenario.
Rim shot. But
You motherfucker.
Speaking of topics, I like, you know, like, again, we didn't get our Tyler Durden situation that we were expecting in the Acolyte, but we did get it with this show. What did you guys think of this revelation that Butcher is talking to the angel and the devil of his nature here in hallucinogenic form, but also like the revelation that there might be on the precipice of creating this virus that could spell the obliteration of all soups. Jeff, I'll let you go first.
I just screamed at my screen. I was just like, motherfucker, he was right. But that's the thing where, like, even though I had forewarning, it was still that part I did like about this episode. I still thought it was good. I still thought it came across well. And I thought the way they did the revelation was fucking brilliant. Because for a very quick second, I was like, did he take 10 feet too? I was like, oh, wait, no. That's what's going on. It was so great having Jeffrey Dean Morgan turn to yell at her. That was brilliant. And I love that. And then I will say this. When they did the traditional Fight Club, they were never there thing where they show all the flashbacks. I didn't need it. I got it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I didn't need it. Didn't need that. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
But other than that, I did like it. I thought it was a good reveal, and I thought the way they revealed was fantastic.
I just didn't like when he called her a bitch and Butcher didn't try to hit his imaginary ass. Like,
I think he was a little too shocked in the moment.
Girl, no, don't be calling my imaginary wife no bitch. Oh, my dead imaginary wife. That's what you're gonna do. Disrespect me and my dead imaginary wife's in my brain?
I'm just imagining that Key and Peele bit. And I'm like, bitch.
No, he should have put the pussy on the chain wax.
Yeah.
You're gonna be using, if we're gonna be using,
you should have put the pussy on the chain.
You should have put the pussy on the chain wax because I'm not having it. Talking to my dead imaginary wife, nigga, my hallucinations.
And I love that actress so much. I'd love to see her back.
First of all, she fine as a motherfucker. Yeah. Shout out to her and Foundation. God damn.
She was
they had to kill her in Foundation because she was too goddamn fine. You can't be that old. And
you look old. I'm sorry. Yeah, she was my fan cast for Sue Storm, but it didn't work out that way. Producer team, producer team,
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, like it's not. She would have been age appropriate for Pedro Pascal, but
right. But that's what we be talking about. Inequality, man. Inequality, man.
Inequality.
Come on, Pedro. You know you don't. This nigga got a job. He don't even do nothing.
She was the Final Destination.
This nigga 6 jobs.
No, fuck that. He quit the Mandalorian. He ain't even been in the suit for 2 seasons. I don't like that.
He's still in The Last of Us. He makes like 3 movies a year.
No, I just don't like that. I'm sorry. Lazy ass nigga. Sorry.
She was on Flash.
Producer T. Oh, really? Producer T.
Patty
What
Spivot.
did you think of just like?
You said, if you keep saying my name, I'm gonna appear in your like closet.
That's how he's traveling everywhere so cheap. Motherfucker.
Disappears.
You say my name 3 times. I
Remember
promise
that
it's a
movie?
Candy
What's
Man.
the movie with Bob Savage with the motherfucking monsters under the bed?
Oh,
Little Monsters.
Little Monsters.
Yeah, that's what that shit reminded me of. Say his name 5 times, nigga gonna come crawling up underneath the bed.
But yeah, T, what did you think of this last moment and then like the revelation of this Tyler Durden situation?
I like how we are getting Butcher up to comic book level in game for him, which was that was the plot, was he was gonna release a virus that would kill all the soups. One of my kind of problems with it is that in this world, there's only really the soups that all have V in them. And the only like good motivators to kind of stop Butcher here is really Huey maybe if he has enough V in him,
Oh, the temp.
Kimiko and Starlight, and he doesn't really like Starlight that much.
Well, and
So
Ryan.
he doesn't have. Oh, and Ryan.
Ryan's the biggest one.
But he doesn't really have too many other factors to be like, I don't give two fucks. Why should I stop? While in the book, you know, Compound V is just out and wild in the environment, and soups are just naturally being born because it's just everywhere. You don't have to be injected with it. And that was just going to kill so many more people, and people who probably didn't even have powers yet or just minding their business. And so it made them more genocidal. And this one is kind of like, I kind of still hope he goes with it.
Right?
So, but I'm interested to see if
Ryan's
they're going to try to give it more
anyway.
stakes of why he shouldn't go through with it. Because, like, right now, I think he should go through with it. Like, just go for it.
I
man.
do feel like they have given him enough stakes with Annie and Kimiko. Like,
I
No,
don't think so.
it's
No.
just Ryan. Ryan's the only reason he's
Yeah,
not
just
pulling that
Ryan.
trigger.
well,
Well,
Ryan too. I mean, I didn't even mention him, but yeah, I mean, I think the bulk of that really makes up a situation where he's like, all right, I shouldn't do this at all. Plus, we've seen from him saying that he took the V to get rid of the cancer. He really ain't ready to die. Like anything that he could find out a way to not die. And if this virus is created, he definitely gonna die. So it's another part of partial, you know, self-preservation. I think that's taking place here, at least a tiny bit. And also, like I said, you know, Ryan and Kimiko and Annie, I think that he does have enough of a attachment to the three of them that builds up enough that he doesn't want to go through it, or at least has conflict as to where he wants to go through it. In the comic books, they give everybody this shit that makes them have a signal that blows up all their heads. And you know, all he has to do is go in a room and hit them. And I think they have like some kind of orgasm, or was it something like that?
That sounds about right with the boys.
Like it was some kind of big ass superhero party, and then he like killed everybody.
But you know, I do like.
But clearly, they're not gonna do that.
But let's talk about the reveal, because like when they revealed that he was part of the figment of the imagination, this is who I imagined that the audience thought we were. Can you pull that up for me?
Yeah. I'm sorry. This little
Like,
situation.
Did they think we were him?
Did they think we were him? Well, the question is,
you didn't see that coming?
Well, yeah, like it is interesting with this dynamic, because it's one of the things I wanted to talk about when you guys were talking about his Butcher's.
Oh, did it not show the picture of Matt Murdock walking with his cane, being blind as shit?
Sure did not.
That's what I was showing. I was showing a picture of Daredevil walking with his cane. I was like, did these writers think we were Daredevil? Because we saw that coming.
I did not see that.
Did not see
Sorry.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't loading up. I was like, God damn it.
But like to your guys, this point with Butcher's relationship with Annie and Kimiko, like I thought it was very telling that his subconscious, basically with his wife Becca, is the person who brings up Annie and Kimiko. I think that just like tells, even like is more telling that his subconsciously he's built a connection with these people, and no matter what he wants to tell himself about how all soups are the same, I think he realizes that Annie is the moral paramount of all soups. Like she is the nicest soup
So
there
far,
is that he's ever met.
Yeah,
exactly. It's like it's basically his evidence that there are good soups in the world. So
yeah, the problem is that there's almost no good people in the world. So now you're popping them all up with V. But that's to me the reasoning behind, the logic behind, hey man, you can't kill every one of them. Because now if we take that same mindset, what happens when all of the soups are dead and you still apply that same mindset? Then you'll just be killing people. You know what I mean? Just everybody. Because
I think that's the point.
Right.
Yeah, it's gonna go into a Days of Future Past situation if
and
we
you
end up
become
just like
Homelander.
deciding to kill all. Yeah, you can end up
because Homelander's mindset is right. Like he got fucking basically he was abused more than any human being could ever be abused, growing all the way up into an adult. And he's 40 years old before he gets a chance to fucking, be free. Like he's got a whole ass point. Like he should be able to go and do what he did to those people that he did in that basement spot.
Yeah, but he's basically traumatized since birth.
But that's where it should end. Like that's where it should end. And he can't stop going because he is fucked up. Because hurt people. I think that's a lot of what this show is just like trying to tell you that hurt people.
But any final thoughts on this episode before we move on to our last subject?
Yes.
Predictions on what might happen in the next couple of episodes, Patrick?
No predictions, just a thought. So obviously, we got Tech 9 being our orgy loving kink fetish guy having motherfucker in the show. I have a theory on why they chose Tech 9 for that. Did you guys ever hear about how fucking kinky horny Adam West was?
Ooh,
no.
Evidently, Adam West and Frank Gorshin once got kicked out of an orgy because they wouldn't stop acting like Batman and the Riddler.
No.
Oh, that's amazing.
So wait, he's asking. So they're like hunching. They're like this. They're like hunching. And he's like, "What's brown? Has one eye and is completely impaled."
Like that's not really a riddle. It's just you're describing what you're doing.
No, it's a riddle. Now.
Well, with how many of them are in that room, you do got to figure it out.
You got to figure it out.
Yeah, that's got to be kind of annoying. Like when you're just like,
kind of.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, we're all just trying to have a good time. We don't want to hear about your fucking TV show that's coming on in 2 days.
I mean, you also don't want to hear them making a bunch of pow badams while they're supposed to be getting it on.
Yeah.
Do you think they brought those giant? Do you think they brought the giant cutout?
That'd be great.
For more conversations on butt play and Batman and Robin, come watch the Bantha Bunch show. It's 7 p.m. Pacific time.
The only other thing I got for you, I recently this week found out. Would you guys like to guess which good guy and which bad guy are dating in real life?
Oh yes, it's Newman and Huey.
It is.
It is.
Which is so funny.
Good on you, Quaid. She's cute.
Yeah, baby Quaid.
We already had a conversation about that, me and Alex, but I don't want to. That's for off topic.
It's funny. Before I even heard about this, like in the first episode, when like Quaid and Newman had that one little moment together, I was like, "Is there's like some sexual tension there?" But no, I guess it was
just like they're fucking.
I was like, "Oh, they fucking." I guess my fucking radar was just a little too high there. T, what did you? Any final thoughts on this episode, and like any predictions on what may happen in future episodes?
A Train's about to die. I think I was trying to look up how many more episodes are in this season. I was trying to figure out if it's next episode. How many episodes are there?
I think it's 3 episodes.
There's 10 episodes overall.
Oh, it's 10 episodes?
Yeah, they do 10.
Sorry, no, there's only 8 episodes in this season, and we just finished episode 6. Terry's got that one.
So 7 or 8.
I
don't know if they'll get him on the 7th episode.
Terry,
maybe
I might have your answer.
By 8th, he ain't making it. They sealed that in. He ain't making it.
I might have your answer here, Terry. Episode 7 is titled "The Insider." Episode 8, "Assassination Run."
Yeah, right. So there we go.
I think you called him in.
What else is gonna happen? I'm gonna say the virus will be probably completed, and Butcher will have it in his hands. He's not gonna use it just yet, but I will say that the virus will probably be done. And we're probably gonna see another win for Homelander and the evil team. Probably like clinching, like getting a little. We're gonna see Sister Sage do something.
Mm-hmm.
I know that for a fact.
Hopefully, it's eat cake.
Her butt. Whole mommy milkers incident. and
Well,
kind of being
That was a really funny moment between Sage and Newman because like it's like sort of you usually get a moment where two characters just like have a understanding like like catching of eyes, but like Sage is still so stupid and Newman just like great reaction, just like okay, goddamn, like such a funny moment.
Yeah, she's a great actress.
yeah, he was girlfriend can act.
Funny about the girl who plays Newman, I can't remember her name right now. Friend of the show. But what's funny about her, she's in almost nothing.
She's Australian, so she might be in a lot over there.
I've looked.
she's Call of Duty.
Claudia
or
Dumont?
something like that. One of
Claudia
them.
Dement. She's not really in a lot of shit, and she's in a lot of really low budget.
Oh, she was in a show called Gen V.
Oh yeah,
Nobody's
I've
seen that show.
No, you know what? No one's seen it. I can tell from our views on our Drunk Banthas podcast from covering the show. But yeah, no, I feel like she should be getting more stuff, man. She's a phenomenal actress. Like she really is good.
There's a bunch of actors that I think because of like this show and the last show, it's like I think you're gonna be getting like Smilo Ren in the last show. He's gonna get more roles because of that role. And I think Newman's going to get more roles because of this role. Also, her name is Claudia Dumont. I think she's going to get more roles because of Newman.
Yeah, and it is interesting because like we have seen a lot. Well, we've had a lot of moments in these like shows, movies, like where people get their like breakout moment where they just like where Hollywood's like let's cast them in a whole bunch of other things. And this being Newman's like I can see this being Newman's breakout role, and like having her pop up in a whole bunch of other stuff. Jason Mendoza, I could see this being sort of a breakout thing for him too.
I could see it breaking his typecast.
Yeah. Yes, because like he definitely got typecast as like the silly, funny, sexy dude in Good Place. And apparently he was in what's the thing that the showrunner of The Acolyte did before this?
Roots. I don't know.
Right, of course. Yeah. Russian Doll. Apparently he was in Russian Doll, I think.
He was. He was in a good amount of the episodes, I think.
So like I feel like he's had like a couple of moments to break out of his comedic like typecast, but this is very, very popular, and it's like a really cool villain role. Like I feel like villain roles are good to help people like break the mold, and like as far as what people think of like Denzel in Training Day and some such shit. But hopefully, like that'll be that for him. Do you, producer T, like if you had an actor from like The Boys this season who you like, I want to see them in like a whole bunch. I want to see them in a Marvel movie. I want to see them in like a big blockbuster. Like, who would you choose?
I'm gonna go with the A-Train's actor.
Okay. Shout outs to I forget the actor's name. He was in the Shaft
Jack Quaid
trilogy. He was in Shaft. He was like the Shaft sequel with Samuel L. Jackson.
Was he the newest Shaft?
Yeah, he was the baby Shaft.
Jesse T. Usher.
Jesse T. Usher. Yeah, that's right. I knew Usher was his name.
I liked him in Shaft. I on Thursday finally watched the new Independence Day. Wasn't happy there.
Oh, that's right. He was in 2 Lego sequels. It's just
Can
like
we
the
do
baby.
that?
He was the baby in 2 Lego sequels.
Can we cover that in some way? I've never seen it, and I feel like I don't want to do it unless it's gonna be making us money.
I didn't think it was the worst thing ever.
I know that's what people keep
saying.
saying.
Which one are we talking? Shaft or
Independence Day. Shaft is a timeless classic.
Everybody sees Shaft. Stupid.
No one.
I'm joking.
No one has seen.
I'm joking.
Literally, no one has seen the Shaft with Jesse T. Usher.
We're just talking about Shaft.
I can dig it.
But I can dig it. So we're talking about the Independence Day Lego sequel.
ID 42.
Yeah, no, fuck that. We're gonna. Well, hold on. This is what I have to do. I have to come back and I gotta get order in this bitch. Sure. No, I'm
so dragon.
No, I just don't know what you're talking about because I had to pee.
We're talking about Jesse T. Usher.
A-Train.
A-Train. Yeah, we need to see him on more shit too, for sure. You know what I'm saying? Black dude. If there was a black dude as pretty, I mean, a white dude as pretty as he is with the hairline that he got at the age that he is.
It's Glenn Powell.
He would, exactly. That's Glenn Powell.
Jesse T. Usher
Well done.
is the
Well
white
done.
Glenn Powell, or is the
That's
black
right.
Glenn Powell?
I like it. I like it. Well, that's like, is that like Wade Brady?
Tell you what, I think Lamplighter would have been a good one.
Right.
He controlled fire. Speaking of fire,
Oh, yes, that's right. That's right. It's the main event. We're
fire and blood in this bitch.
That's right. We are talking about our final topic of the night, House of the Dragon. And guys, get your drinks ready because I mean, obviously, we've been drinking for a while. We're all plenty drunk.
I have been
later, Athelius.
And get
peace.
hold
on. What did those say?
Athelius said, "I'm out. Peace." Oh, okay, he's not here for the
He's
house.
not watching this.
I mean, he's gonna come back and watch. He just can't do this live shit no more.
Yeah,
I think that nigga on Easter time.
Yeah, it's
like yo,
shit is late.
Shout out to everybody who's watching. By the way, shout out to all y'all watching. We really appreciate y'all. Everybody who's watching on all platforms, YouTube, NerdsAtNite, Drunk Banthas, Twitter on the same thing. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah, and if you want to prepare for this specific conversation and you are drinking, here's a little instruction.
A Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing.
Magliato. With Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
Damn,
We are
that's
talking
a cocktail. They'll call that a drunk bantha.
Jeff looks very confused. I guess he missed that part of the
A
internet.
Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing.
Magliato. With Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
That's my new drink. It's called a drunk bantha. Get with it.
Is that the drunk bantha?
Yeah, it's called the Hot D. That's actually what it's called.
Oh, the hot D. That works. Jeff, you feel very I can feel the hate coming off of you right now.
So stupid.
Oh, it's so great.
A Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing.
Magliato. With Prosecco in it.
Oh, stunning.
Yeah.
It's just his face. It's his face that makes it worth playing it again.
This is the new May Thy Night Chip and Shatter. This is the same joy I got from making Producer T put his hands in his face. But yeah, we're talking about episode season 2, episode 4, The Red Dragon and the Gold. This is a pretty crazy episode. Let's not even get into like initial thoughts. Let's just like sort of dive into it because we've already been here for a while.
This is the most exciting episode that we've had so far. I'm gonna let you read your description, and we have to go deep into this bitch like some good. Yeah, never mind.
Okay. Damon dreams that he decapitates young Rhaenyra, who accuses him of treason. Alice Rivers tells Damon that Harrenhal is haunted, and she gives him a sleep drink, causing him to see Lena's ghost while in council. Now we get some really spooky shit here in Harrenhal. It's like we've sort of had that ever since Damon has made it to Harrenhal.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of just like the emotional manifestation of Damon's guilt throughout this whole episode, Patrick?
I thought it was fantastic. I thought it was also a really good. Obviously, it was good showing Damon have some guilt finally, but I also thought this was a really awesome example of why like genjutsu and mind magic and psychics are so terrifying and dangerous. Because there's points where we still don't know if it actually happened or not. When he's actually in the kitchen with the witch and he's getting that sleep medication, we actually don't know if any of that fucking happened. He still could have been asleep. It could have all been a fucking dream. And that's where these things start to become so insidious. Because what happens when you just wake up in the middle of that council meeting. He did his best to try and no, he didn't. He did a shit job of trying to keep it together like he knew what was going on.
Shit job.
I mean, he straight up was like, "Who are you? The fuck are you saying?" And if he wasn't as powerful as he was, they would have immediately been like, "The fuck's with this guy?"
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I think it's going to be really good going forward because I think he's going to keep doubting himself. He's going to keep having lapses, like maybe in judgment and time, things like that. But even if he gets out of Harrenhal Hall and say that stops, he's still going to have that fucking paranoia. And I think this is, you know how we always heard about the Targaryens, they all went mad. I think this is the start of it for Daemon.
Yeah, you know, they all say, they talk about how Targaryens can go mad, and they talk about a lot of it being because of incest.
They've been fucking.
Oh, there's a drop for that.
They start fucking. It was gross.
That's just the new theme song for Game of Thrones right there.
That is actually the only reason that drop exists in our possession at this moment, is this show, because it is gross, you know, and to your point, we talked about this young lady last week being a witch. It just because I was trying to, you know, loosely spoil some things for what happens in the book. But there's a couple of things that are interesting about the character.
We're assuming she's a witch. She might all be a fucking hallucination.
Well, this is why I don't believe she's a hallucination.
I remember you went over this last week about
a little bit. Yeah. But now that we've got, oh, wait, hold on. Alex is back. Now that we
love your fucking force camera there.
Yeah, I love not having to reach over and just slap it. I had to slap it a couple times when I went to the bathroom, but that's just because I'm ignorant. But now that I'm
stop, you're ignorant.
Yeah, this lady in the book, at least. Now, I'm not sure as to what they plan on doing here, but they do say that she is unknown as to how old she is. She looks older than what people think she looks like. So,
which we saw with the Red Witch.
Right. But also she's a bastard. And so the theory for a lot of people is that she is the Red Witch. What is it? Alessandra?
Melisandre.
Yeah, Melisandre. The sexy red.
The six.
She was the first sexy red.
She's a real sexy red.
Yeah. So there's a lot of assumptions that she is that woman, because Melisandre would be alive in this time period for sure, based on what she told us and how old she is. She would be alive, and she is roaming around. Whether or not we see her in this season or in this show, she is alive in this time period. So what if she is from that area? I don't know. And she said that she was from Westeros at one point in Game of Thrones, even though she came from like wherever.
Right. Yeah. And I'm curious. I'm not sure if you guys talked about this when I was gone, but
we did.
We probably did. With this opening scene with the hallucination with Ray or baby Ray.
Yeah, Baby Ray.
I'm sorry, you're trying to say Bayray?
Oh yeah, I think you mispronounced Bayray.
Sorry. And also Rimshot. But do you guys feel like this was
weird when you said?
Do you guys feel like this was? I feel like there's a little bit of guilt of Daemon, like having he has a little bit of guilt of having this relationship with Ray because when she was young,
they start fucking. It was gross.
I was like, so do you feel like he has like any like sort of guilt about just like influencing her and just all the events that have led up to this moment, and that's why he's having this?
I'll be quick. I think that he's having regrets in that sense only because his only reason he was doing it was because he thought he could marry her then, and he would be the one in charge because she was so young.
But now that she's older and she has agency, it's like, oh,
this nigga ain't really nothing.
He's not hallucinating his wife currently.
Right, exactly. And that's exactly. That's my point. That's why I think we're seeing her as a young version of herself.
Mhm.
We're seeing a juxtaposition now. Like he is in a opposite, like when he goes there, remember in the first season, she walked up and he was on the throne and she was like, oh, da, da, da. He gave her a necklace, blah, blah, blah. That's how we introduced to Damon. But this time he's walking into the throne room and she's sitting on there as a child, like that she was when he re-saw her for the first time since he'd been back at war. Like Damon has always wanted the crown. But I'm gonna segue right here. When we move into the present and when we move into the now, we realize that Aemon has now always wanted the crown as well. Right?
Yeah.
Like we see that now, which in the book, it's never really implied that any one of these things is never really implied that Damon or Aemon want this amount of power. And if we look at it, those two people are the ones who have not only escalated the war.
Well, let me ask you a quick question about Aemon.
They have used they've been, remember Littlefinger's famous line?
Let's get it started.
Let's get it started. Hey, no, that's Will I Am. But it was chaos is a ladder.
Oh, I got it right. No,
yeah, chaos is a ladder. And I think that Damon and Aemon are both using that. And they're both connected at the hip in this episode. And when you were talking about the hallucinations and shit that Damon was having, he looks like he's chasing Aemon in one part of the episode through the corridors at night, a patched Aemon. Now, I really am curious, but we find out later that it is Damon when he turns around wearing.
Go to hell, whoever decided to make all the names one letter off.
Oh, that guy's name is George R.R. Martin.
Yeah,
I will say that there will be a big reveal as to why he did that at the end of this series. I will say.
Oh, okay. I don't care. Fuck you, George.
Yeah, no, that is. Well, I will say this is the only time it makes sense. It is just ridiculous. It is ridiculous. This is also. I don't know if you noticed. All the Tullys, Sesame Street character names.
Bernie,
Oscar. Kermit. No, I'm joking.
I am
Snuffleupagus. Yes.
Oh shit!
You're my guy, Hefe. Let's move on.
Let me ask a question about Aemon since Bill brought that up. Bill, you mentioned that Aemon has always wanted the crown too. I don't think he has. I think he was very, very fine with sitting back and being the warrior prince who just gets those accolades. I think it wasn't until Aegon in front of everyone embarrassed him at the brothel that he was like, yeah, it'd be real easy to kill you. I'm going to do that.
Yep. No, that is to me, that is a dot that is connected, that what we call what they say is the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yeah.
Because in the last season, the episode that he loses his eye, to me, that was the most telling episode of how Aemon Targaryen thinks.
Yeah, it was a turning point.
There was a turning point, not only a turning point in his life, but we see that Aemon Targaryen was probably the most kind-hearted out of all of the Targaryen and Targaryen slash.
He's like a sweet little guy before that.
Yeah, he really was sad. He was getting picked on not only by his brother, but his
cousins,
uncles.
Yeah,
aren't they his uncles?
No, I think it's still cousins.
They're still cousins.
Yeah, this is like a Mississippi.
It's no. It's not even still cousins.
It's still cousins.
Wait, no. Nephews,
right? They're nephews. So his nephews were also picking on him.
By the way,
They brought him
Forget the genetics. This is why people should stop incesting. I'm tired of trying to figure it out.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. Get it together, George R. Martin.
Also, Mississippi. Figure it out.
But yeah,
sorry, I apologize to all of Mississippi.
I know.
In season 1, they tell him they're bringing him a dragon, they bring him a pig. He is very embarrassed. It's just like, even his nephew, your nephews is making fun of you, nigga. Like, one of your nephews cut your eye out.
Yeah.
Like, he and his mama don't love him as much as she loves Aegon, and Aegon's a fuck up as to where he is on point with everything. He's always doing everything. He's always there for his brother. He never treated Aegon terribly or even looked at him terribly as a kid. Now he's going through this type of trauma as an adult. And I think that I think that he has wanted that crown the entire time. When Aegon gets crowned in season 1, he's looking at him like, man, you don't deserve that shit. No lame ass don't deserve that shit.
And you can definitely see how like that frustration can build over time, especially, like in this system where the most skilled and wise person doesn't get the job. It's all about lineage and who's next in line. But yeah, let's get into the events leading up to like the sort of crazy situation at the end. Archmaster Orwell prepares let's call it what it is.
Plan B.
It's a plan B.
B.
Plan BT for
Alex,
and professes ignorance.
Wait. Well, first of all, Terry, did you watch the episode?
Strangely enough, I actually did watch this episode after not watching anything of this season. However, I was very inebriated and kept falling asleep. So
it was right after Axel Foley and the boys.
Remember most things that happened in this episode. I do remember the moon tea because for some reason, Nine didn't know the name, and I got fixated on me. Like, she drank that moon tea. She got to have a moon, and I do remember that part though.
It's the night of
The
the
Negroni.
I was going to say the same thing. Yeah.
Bagliato.
That's what a moon. That's how you look at Jeff. That's how you make a moon tea.
That's how you make the moon.
That's how you make a moon tea.
Spagliato.
So I'm trying to figure out, like, is that Kristen Cole's baby in there? Like,
yeah, it was.
Oh, of course it was.
Yeah, he the only one been slapping them cheeks.
Right,
Go ahead.
They start fucking. It was gross.
what to me?
Which, by the way,
hold on 1 second. Go ahead, finish.
No, I was just gonna.
Finish the last words.
I was gonna say Aegon is frustrated that Aemon and Christian planned campaigns without him, including deciding Rook's Rest rather than Harrenhal. He expresses much to his mother, to which she responds, "Be a good king and do nothing." I'm paraphrasing,
Jeff.
But yeah, like Jeff, how did you feel about like just the culmination of all these events and like her taking the tea? She's obviously in a very emotional state from basically having a miscarriage.
She took the tea and spilled the tea.
she took tea.
There were two things that I had about that. The first is leading up to the confrontation and everything with his mother in the room, like, don't do nothing. When we see I was really impressed with Littlefoot showing the I just, since Blake said it, I can't call him any other name.
It's perfect.
Right? Since he showed some real intelligence there. And it was when Aegon's losing his mind. He's like, "Oh, he took your castle. How could you?" And Littlefoot's just like, "I have all the money. That castle is fucked. Everyone says it's haunted. Let him go fucking crazy, and I'll keep the money, and it'll actually be a hindrance on him." And it was great because, one, it shows Littlefoot's intelligence, but two, it shows an important part of this, which is Aegon cares more about the appearance of power than actually having power. And it's something that he's had that's been going on with him the entire time. And I think by the end of this episode, we definitely see that.
I just want to say we did a disservice to the boys by not talking about the titty milk scene, but
yeah, I did forget to talk about the petite milk scene. We just talked about so
You know
much.
what? Hey,
I just was saying, I just
You
talked
got
about
milk.
it. Titty milk scene, boom. You're never getting rid of this bitch. Plot armor.
Right. So there was that one. Then I think we all loved how Aemon made Aegon just look like a little bitch by just literally talking. But one of my biggest issues with this episode, it's actually not an issue. It's just like that character's a fucking idiot. And that's when the queen, when she's drinking her moon tea and shit, bitch has been politicking how long? She was how young when she got married to the king? She has been politicking more than long enough to know not to leave that fucking cup, vial, whatever, sitting out. I know she's so, obviously drinking that tea. We'll say she was traveling to a more liberal state. So I know while she's making those travels, she's going through like some mental and physical pain. Hey, the word we can't say. One of the words we can't say on.
We say flabortion.
That's the word. That's the one I was. That was my euphemism for traveling to a liberal state.
Oh.
But while she was doing that traveling, she was obviously in that pain and stuff. But leaving that cup out for Littlefoot to find was such a fucking rookie mistake, and she should have been smarter than that.
I will agree. But only reason I'm not mad that they did that is because I noticed it immediately. So I'm not mad at that. I like that I was right. And even if it was right for 5 seconds. I like when I walked in, he finna see that tea. Boom, tea, boom. I'm like, those are, instant gratification for me.
100%. Well, and it makes sense. She's very flustered. She's got this whole Song of Fire and Ice thing going in her head. I'm not mad at the show. I'm mad at the character because the character made a stupid fucking mistake that she's smarter than.
I've been saying all fucking season and last year, we didn't know y'all last year when we were covering this show. It was a tragedy. But when we covered this show last year, I mean, was it last year or was it last season? I mean, was it 2 years ago?
2 years ago now.
2 years ago now, yeah. So when we covered the last season, I was saying it all along, man. This shit just kind of gets kicked down the road type shit. I forgot what we were talking about. What was we talking about?
How I was annoyed with the queen for making that dumb mistake, but how it made absolute sense for the show.
And kicking down the road shit. See, all her problems she puts on somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like,
also, real quick, Bill. What's up, Streaming Meaning? Back to you.
Yeah, I can't see any of that shit. Alex is
just said hi. Streaming Meaning just said hi, everybody.
Yeah, no. Shout out to that. Shout out to you. Streaming Meaning. That's a good name. I'm not mad at that one. It's those no numbers in it. That's what I like. But yeah, this whole series, God damn it. Shouldn't we maybe forget too?
We were just talking about Aegon being stupid and getting called out, and we were talking about the queen drinking some tea and getting rid of B.
I feel like Loras already knew this shit. So it's not really, and this character, as far as being mad at her, I've already been mad at her. She kicks, like I said, kicking the can down the road. She passes the proverbial football of blame on to other people all the time. She's not willing to accept that she's just played the biggest part of making all of this shit happen. And we get that she's understanding that from her going through all the books. Shout out to Loras pointing it out because I didn't see that at first. Littlefoot, he pointed out that she had all the books out, and I was like, oh shit, every one of those books is wide open. She's really been going through it, looking for solutions. I think she was looking for the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yeah. That's the thing. She's smarter than Cersei, but she's nowhere near as ruthless. So,
and those two things will play
She's too kind.
at a detriment to her.
Yeah, like she is weirdly like a little bit more kind to her core, and like I do feel like,
but not with her children.
Yeah, she's not as empathetic with her
But
children.
her children are fucks.
But yeah, she's definitely not as empathetic with her children for sure. But like to y'all's point, it does seem like she's searching for the some sort of textual evidence of the Song of Ice and Fire, which makes the ending a lot more interesting because we know that the Song of Ice and Fire is engraved on the blade that Aemon finds at the end of all this like tumultuous craziness.
She's looking in the wrong place.
This episode. Yeah, you worry about the wrong things. The wrong things.
All the right places. What's that?
Looking for prophecies in all the wrong places.
Yeah, that's what
but yeah, later on in the episode, Kirstyn beheads Lord Daclin, who refuses allegiance.
It's Dak.
Good, fuck that guy.
Daclin, girl.
Ray,
you're not gonna leech. You don't get ahead.
Rim shot. Ray returns to Dragonstone and agrees to war, volunteering to Dragon Ride, but Rhaenys volunteers herself instead. Now, I always enjoyed these like council scenes where they're debating, and there's always something like really dramatic or something that really hilarious that happens during all these moments. And we finally see that Ray concedes to war. She just finally decides to move forward with war. What did you guys think of this moment and just like all of the politics that are going on?
Most important moment in the story so far, the biggest moment, and it's gonna go by like nothing happened. But the most important moment in this story so far is her saying, "I have now come to realize that this war is coming, and the only way I will win, my only decision is to fight and win, or fight and die."
Yeah,
she only has two choices. I can die or I can win. There is no other outcome in this war. I mean, in this scenario, which now has become war.
Yeah.
Right? Whilst everybody else has been preparing for war or anticipating war the entire time. So what makes her capable and deserving of being the true heir and the queen of Westeros has also become her detriment in this situation, because she's now playing from behind, right?
Yeah.
Win or lose, now she's playing from behind.
Yeah, and it's reminiscent of two lines from Cersei from the past, where one
I love to fuck my brother.
Yeah, exactly. The one very famous line from Cersei where she says,
"They start fucking. It was gross."
We all know that line. We all know that line.
But the line where she says, in the Game of Thrones, you either win or you die. Also, the line where she says, "I choose violence," where it's just like where she's committing to one solution. To
that was good, man. I haven't even heard like no nerds say that on YouTube.
Hey, man,
there you go. You should hit this.
In the words of another Game of Thrones character, I drink and I know things.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say the line where he says,
"These nuts."
I thought that was the line that you were going for. My bad.
Two things could be true. The streaming meanie said, "I have a really hard time getting into HOTD. I mean, Got had really solid, well-defined characters right away, and this ... I honestly don't know who to root for here." And
so that leads into my thought on this scene.
Everybody wants to say something about that.
So that leads into my thoughts on this scene and on Ray and on the whole Ray Council. So first off, I thought it was real interesting how they're all happy to follow Ray, but the second she's gone, doesn't matter that got dragons. They're not listening to a single woman. Who the fuck do you think you are? No, men are talking, honey. So I thought that was real interesting, right? And oh god, but so the thing though I think is interesting here is, and Bill, you touched on it, which there's a lot of touching in this show. Anyway, so the thing is though, Ray yeah, they're all fighting for victory, for glory, for the crown. Ray was fighting for peace. So yeah, she's stepping up to the war plate. We'll say an inning behind the others, but it's because she did everything she could until the last moment to find a peaceful resolution, and that's why she deserves to be the ruler.
Yeah, she's clearly like the best leader because she's the reluctant person to take the reins. Like, there's the old adage that no leader wants to be a leader. They're just called to action.
Those who want to lead don't deserve to.
Yes, yeah, that was a much better phrased version of what I was trying to say. But yeah, like
man.
Yeah.
And it is interesting just like seeing the dynamic between like even the councils of these two factions, the Greens and the Blacks, how they decide to
man. I don't like how they say that.
That's the worst thing they say in this show.
The black man, nigga, you keep saying it. I'm gonna be God damn it. I don't like how motherfuckers say that shit in this show, man.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Speaking of the blacks.
Speaking of the blacks.
I haven't looked at the notes. I'm a terrible person.
No.
But what I was gonna say, I don't know if we haven't talked about him. What's his name? Adam? We haven't talked about him that much.
Black Adam?
Corliss's bastard son.
Yes.
We predicted
we
that.
have not spoken about him yet.
We hadn't talked about him really at all. And Rhaenys
is seaworthy savior.
Yeah, he's one of his seamen. No,
got him.
Is this thing on?
I don't know where the button is.
Is this thing on?
He's nuts. Hot. Got him. Are you?
Is this thing on? No. Yeah. Where do y'all think that's going? I know this is going to be a quick thing. I don't know if Terry wants to talk about this because I know he hasn't really watched but this episode really.
Warning,
basically.
marijuana affects the memory.
But
what?
Where do you feel like this is going, Jeff? Like, because
with the seaman savior?
Yeah. Because I don't remember this really being in the book. And
well, so that's the thing. I think with Rhaenys' death, I think it actually might not go anywhere. I think it was because his heirs or whatever. He's got his daughters. Wait, is that daughter? I don't remember who's related to who in this show.
He's got his granddaughters.
His granddaughter.
Yeah.
So So, although I think would that technically mean Daemon would inherit it because that's
Daemon. Yeah,
his dead daughter's husband.
Yeah. I mean, yes, he would. He is entitled to it at this moment. Yes.
I don't think this bastard's really going to have too much going on because Rhaenys died. I think they were setting it up to be bigger, but then bye bye, Mama don't care.
Alex, what do you think?
Well, I definitely think we need to get random internet guy on here because he will be able to understand all the
random internet guy has got to answer the goddamn phone.
Yeah, he's
random internet guy. I know you be watching. Shout out to you. We love you, man. You know what I'm saying? It's always all love.
Call and leave us a voicemail letting us know when you're free. That number is
323-680-4101. That's 323-680-4101. I haven't checked to see if anybody left the voicemail yet, but look, I'm gonna make a video with all the voicemails. So if you're watching right now, call that place. You can just say whatever you want to say whatever you want to. Say it out loud.
A lot of people that sound like me saying words they shouldn't say in that.
I love it. I wanted to put it on YouTube. I will edit everything, by the way.
It's just every third word is not beeped.
I love it. It's gonna be like that C-SPAN. No, anyway, go ahead.
Let's talk about the ending of this episode. What everybody wants to really talk about. Frustrated and drunk Aegon flies Sunfire to Rook's Rest.
He's gonna get a DUI, dragging under the influence.
Dragging under the influence. Oh man, t-shirt idea. Noah, where are you at? Frustrated and drunk. Yeah, I got flies Sunfire to Rook's Rest. Rhaenys on Maylee's burns Kirstyn's troops while Aemon and Vhagar remain hidden. Meleys mauls Sunfire in the resulting battle. Aemon then commands
Which real quick, do dragons bleed hot tar?
Yes,
Yeah,
apparently.
hold on.
Yeah.
No,
Right?
Continue reading. Continue reading.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Aemon then commands Vhagar to burn both Meleys and Sunfire, causing Sunfire to plunge to the ground. Rhaenys attacks Vhagar, who also falls, but is largely unharmed. As Meleys circles, Vhagar rises and grabs Meleys' neck, crushing the smaller dragon in her jaws. Meleys and Rhaenys fall to their deaths, and Kirstyn, knocked unconscious during the battle, awakens, and he finds Aemon approaching an unconscious Aegon and badly injured Sunfire as Aemon grabs Aegon's dagger.
Now,
I
will. So you two things that you missed is that Cole fell and passed out like a bitch. A whole ass.
We gotta get a real good drop that just says like a bitch.
Fell out like a bitch.
I say he was knocked unconscious. I didn't say
You
that. I didn't say
you
that.
say he fell out like a bitch.
I was paraphrasing.
We need a like a bitch drop.
You didn't forgot that part. And then the other thing was that you forgot was damn, it was something about Rhaenys. Anyway, I'll get to it. But
maybe her touching moment with the dragon?
No, what you missed was Rhaenys has an opportunity to leave.
Oh, yeah.
And does not. Now let me go down the ways just to how it went in the book. Okay, and then I'll let y'all cook, because really I'm not mistaken. If I'm not mistaken, I'm the only one who read the book.
Yeah.
And so in the book, it basically goes down exactly like we see it, right? And I'm just going to talk about the differences. So it's described that Kirstyn Cole was taking over all these areas in the Riverlands, but then started going to Rook's Nest, and everybody was like, yo, this motherfucker's getting it. We got to go get him. So Rhaenyra sends out Rhaenys. You know, they don't talk about all the things that happen in the, like, literally how I'm telling you is how it happened.
Right. They don't talk about like how Ray was
nothing.
like, oh, I'll go.
Right.
Yeah, no. They don't talk. Well, they did say that Jacaerys wanted to go, but Rhaenyra wouldn't let him go because of how heartbroken she was from her first single.
Yeah.
So,
Which, by the way, Bill, IMDb trivia, this episode is adapted from the chapter The Dying of Dragons, the Red Dragon and the Gold from Fire and Blood.
that is right. This is my favorite chapter in the book, and which is why I know so much about it, because I went and rewound it so many times. So yeah, Rhaenys comes in, and like I said, it's insinuated that Rhaenyra doesn't want her son to go because it
didn't work out so well for the last.
She's so sad and crying, like what actually happened is she was like, nah, nigga, I'm gonna go. She wanted to go. No one says that in the book. Then Rhaenys goes. So Rhaenys goes and she's fucking it up, but Kirstyn Cole had planned for this. And I'm just telling you.
Kirstyn Cole is following. Oh, I'm sorry. You're talking about in the book. My bad.
I'm talking about in the book. So in the book, Kirstyn Cole.
Bitch Cole.
Yeah, he acted like his name Kirstyn Cole. But anyway, Kirstyn Cole has all this plan, and as she tears up some shit in the horizon, comes Vhagar over the cloud of the trees, and then right behind him, Sunfire, the Aegon the King's dragon, right. Blah blah blah,
working in tandem.
Yeah, they working together.
Two brothers loving each other.
Two brothers loving.
I think the show did it better.
They said no. So the idea behind the show, I've been saying this since season 1. Go back and check it out, y'all, if you want to. 2 years I've been saying this. This is not a show about the book. This is a show about what really happened. The book is a third-hand,
it's like
account.
World War Z.
Yeah, well, this is
the World War Z book is just collections of journals from people who lived through World War Z.
Well, this is an adaptation. Like
No. This is not. No, trust me. I'm trying to tell you. I read the book portion of this show. This is not an adaptation. This is you read what happened in history, and now I'm taking you back in time, and you get to see what actually happened.
This is people actually following Jesus instead of reading Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. Does that sound about right?
No. This is you going back in time to see Jesus.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. This is that. So it's not an adaptation. The way that they're doing it, because think about this.
So which dragon is Jesus?
Oh shit, Paranorm. What's up, man?
P in the house watching the Dragons. Shout out to P. First time, long time. But the point of this whole show is to show you what is happening. Like for the book nerds, is to show you, hey, this was what people said happened. This is what the maesters wrote down in third hand and fourth hand and fifth hand accounts. But this is what actually happened,
right?
Which points out it's to point to the saying, history goes to the victor.
History is written by the victors.
History is written by the victor.
Yeah, and
this is that.
And I love that aspect of it. And what I mean by adaptation is just like, like how, Logan was nominated for best adapted screenplay because it's an adaptation of a bunch of different stories from like X-Men. Like it's not like it's an adaptation it's an adaptation of a different medium. And I always say like it's really hard adapting one medium from another, where it's like video games to TV show, books to movies. Like
exactly, but but that's not what this is.
It is. I mean, it is like literally an adaptation from.
I understand what you're saying, but you got to understand what I'm saying.
Okay,
you got to understand what I'm saying. I know what an adaptation is. You have to understand what I'm saying. This is not an adaptation, though. Yes, in the sense that you're saying, this is an adaptation. But the way that they're writing this show, that is not how they're writing. They're writing it in the sense that this is what happened.
We talked
about this. We talked about this like all random season. Internet guy.
Yeah, we talked about this all season. Yeah, I was just but let's talk about the ending of this episode. We get the.
Well, we already talked about that, but we already introduced it. How did you feel? Because I already talked about how the book happened, and because to Patrick's point, because I'll see this is you change your name on there.
You can say Jeff. They know who that is.
I know, but I'll be trying to remember which one. I'm trying to tell these jokes. But
I'm Webweaver's alternate Peter Parker.
So the whole show this whole scene has been about the dragon battle, but they're setting up a lot. Like Jeff was talking about, does Tar just come out of a dragon's body?
Well, it's because when Sun Bitch got ganked, all that blood fell on them, and first off it was black, and second off they were all like, while you heard
because it's a part that ignites.
Nailed it.
It's one of the parts that ignites, like the way that the flame works is they got liquid that blows up. So yeah, I'm just saying. So yeah, to your point, yes, absolutely, that is what they bleed out in their chest, which is why they attack strategically in that way. So then, when you're thinking about that, in the book, it said that Rhaenys fucks up Aegon. What I'm saying is the way that everything
she was in the show.
No, that she's the one who burned him and then had him fall to the ground and shit. What I'm pointing out is that everything that they're saying, that they're showing us, is like, hey, it's showing you that in the book they were like, hey, we got to lie to make sure Aegon doesn't look bad. We can't make the king look weak. So with that in mind, okay, now I'm curious how y'all feel about this shit from the other side, because y'all don't know about the other shit. So I'm trying to give you this shit without spoiling it week to week. I'm trying not to spoil everything that goes down.
Rhaenys was stupid. Is that what you're looking for? She was a fucking idiot.
Okay.
For
Explain.
multiple reasons. First off, I know this is from How to Train Your Dragon. When the opposing dragon is that much fucking bigger than you, attack the wings. Vagon already had so many holes in its wings, and you clearly don't have a chance of taking him in a straight fight. Cut the fucking wings up, let him drop to the ground, and worst case scenario, if that doesn't kill him, just stay out of his range. There you go. Second, when she does take Vagar down, she starts flying off. She flies over the one fucking spot they can set a trap. She could have gone just a little wide around that fucking castle, gotten a great view. I mean, she probably still would have died, but she would have had a much better chance. She was quicker. She could have at least, she clearly wasn't going to run away, but she could have maybe danced around him a bit more, hurt him a little more. She made two stupid fucking decisions. And the first one, the wing one, I get it, because that's the way they're all trained. No. Go for the bloopity bloop in the center. But I mean, just be smart about it. Vagon is so much bigger than you. Your claws are barely getting through. But those wings, they're already holed up. Fucking cut through a wing, make it so we can't fly anymore.
That would be an interesting strategy that I would like to see somebody tackle in the future. But I
You
do
want
feel
Terry
like
to go first, or you want to go first? Because I want to hear your opinion too.
Yeah, I was just gonna do my little 30-second thing and throw it to Terry. But but yeah, I do feel like that there is I forgot what I was gonna say. Producer T, what did you think about this ending? With
ratings.
I definitely remember the part where I zomped up awake and remembered I ordered a pizza and it arrived at that perfect time and I ate the pizza and then I fell back asleep because I just do not. I was seeing scenes of it, and when you guys shared the meme about what was happening, I was like, I don't remember them fighting with the fucking dragons at all. What did I miss?
Oh man, that's a sad story. You should really check out that.
Right, because I remember all the boring intrigue parts. I remember the part where One-Eyed was talking to the king in High Valyrian, and he didn't really understand him that well. He was just answering him in like one sentence answers. And I remember the moon tea and everything, but it was like, I don't remember this dragon fight.
Yeah, he sounded like me with Spanish. When I be talking Spanish to people in the neighborhood, they just be talking to me, da, 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 and I know most of them words.
Like, grazie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's this
Buenos noches, amigo. Como
exactly.
In the future, someone has already tried that tactic. Okay, Alex?
I mean, How to Train Your Dragon. I've only seen the first one, but it's a really great movie.
How did you feel, bro? How did you feel about this?
How to Train Your Dragon? Loved it.
Because like I said, they're setting up a lot here. So yeah, what did you feel about this one right here, bro?
Yeah, they're definitely setting up a lot of intrigue of what could happen next with just like, the two major figures and on both sides taking a fall in this night. It doesn't seem like Aegon's dead, but him and his dragon are incapacitated. But I did think that it was like very intriguing with Rhaenys. She does have this moment of just like weird, like pensive acceptance. Like it almost seems like right before she turns back toward the fight, like after Aegon falls, she sort of makes a decision to return to the fight and fight this. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to defeat this dragon. It's three
Vagar
times
was
your size.
Hurt and distracted because Sunfire went down. She could have just walked up out of there.
Yeah, and on the one hand, it's like I do understand the sentiment of staying in the fight because, like, this is your territory, you're trying to defend it, and running off seems kind of cowardly. Like,
but
you
there
might
was
as well
an ambush.
Stay. Yeah, then
So that, I'm just saying,
it's
like,
tactically, it makes sense to leave, but honorably, it makes sense to stay.
Also, I don't think you're thinking about the long term of it, because that's something they've been talking about this entire time. One of the biggest issues Aegon keeps having, like killing all the rat catchers. Well, you know what? You're not going to do too good of a job if none of your fucking people are willing to let you rule over them. I think that was a part of why Rhaenys went back. I think it was also because that was a real chance to take Aegon out. And I think she was like, you know what? If I have the chance, I have to take it.
Yeah. Might as well pull up from 30.
I also think battles just made her horny.
I think that it had to do more with there's a few things. So I was really emotional with this because Rhaenys is one of my favorite characters. Rhaenys,
she is.
The book starts with Aegon, the Conqueror. So you hear about Rhaenys way before all this bullshit happens. And she's one of my favorite characters in the book, period. And the fact that she dies this way, and I know that it's gonna happen. Like I've just been bugging out the whole time dealing with it. And when we get to this point, because it says in the book that she had the opportunity to leave, but chose not to. So you don't know what that looks like in your mind, but now when you see it like cinematically, dog, I was like ready to cry.
It's pretty rough.
I was like, God damn, bitch, why are you going back? Why are you going back? And I think that the reasons that I could come up with is that she, like you said, wanted to be honorable. But Rhaenyra called for the death of Aemon. She said she wanted Aemon Targaryen dead because he killed Luke. And I feel like her running away from the fight from him, she saw Sunfire go down. I think she thought Aegon was dead, but she was like, I can end the war I think, she's like, if I kill Aemon, I can end the war.
Yeah.
This is it.
And honestly, let's talk about that just for like a second, because I know we've been talking about this for a long time, but I want to clear this up. Man. This nigga should be dead. Like, what? Like, this, like, Rhaenys is clearly dead from this situation. Like, we don't have to have any speculation about whether she survived. Aegon should be dead as fucking disco. Like, this nigga fell, like...
The only way I could see him...
He's dragon alive, too.
He should also be dead.
Well, the only way I could see him surviving is if, like, he was on his dragon until he hit the ground, and then, like, that impact bounced him off. But unless he was on his dragon the entire time, and his dragon took some of the shock for him, agreed.
Yeah, the concussive force of him falling from that height alone, even if he was like sitting on top of his dragon, you'd be dead.
And when he was,
that's a good point. Physics are definitely real in this world, and 100% the same as our world.
I just don't. Yeah, look, let's just say I'm gonna give this explanation. Okay, fantasy world explanation, just for disclaimer.
Fantasy world.
Rhaenys latched herself into Meleys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she strapped herself in.
And we can see clearly that Aegon, when by the time Aemon got there, that nigga was just hanging on like, oh my God. He was you just fucking shut up. Oh my God.
He was drunk and forgot to buckle up.
Yeah, he got that ass toe. He got his whole ass toe.
Click it or ticket, motherfucker.
That shit cracked me up, but so
oh, there's a shirt.
So I just
that is a shirt.
What's the shirt?
Click it or ticket.
Showing him hanging off, and it says click it
or
ticket.
Click it or ticket. Oh my gosh. Yo, somebody get your ass on the shit, man. Call us right now, man. Noah! What the fuck?
What are you doing? Get over here and get this money.
What's your ass up, nigga? He's gonna watch this and gonna be like, damn.
Like, y'all are so mean. This is why I don't listen to the podcast anymore.
He's gonna say they're funny though.
Yeah, probably. But and guys, if you want to see us talk about damn it, what was the last one we did?
TV shows.
No, Death Becomes Her. We did Death Becomes Her with Noah recently. If you guys want to watch that episode of Doesn't Hold Up. But before we get out of here, you have any final thoughts?
I have a question for y'all before we get out of here.
42.
When Daemon got there, do you think when Aemon got there to Sunfire, when they're looking at Luke, oh goddamn, he looked like a Beetlejuice, but he pulls out, or he has his sword out. Do you think, Jeff, he was about to kill him, or was he already about to sheath his sword?
I think he was about to kill him. I think if Bitch Cole hadn't showed up, there'd be a new king.
Alex?
I think that it's left ambiguous on purpose, but I feel like the way that he was standing, he was sheathing his sword so he could pick up the dagger. And that was just like sort of like a misdirect because
Cole's gonna tell the queen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, Cole's gonna tell the queen for sure. And I feel like he burned Aegon on purpose.
He did that on purpose.
He did that on purpose.
He thought, nope, that nigga's dead.
Yeah.
That nigga dead.
Yeah, he did that shit on purpose.
Don't be pulling up on me with my hose, nigga.
Is Khaleesi the only fireproof Targaryen, by the way?
Yeah,
no,
she's the only true dragon.
No,
okay,
she's not.
In my heart,
she's not.
In my heart.
Look at what happened to Rhaenys. Rhaenys did not burn up.
Okay,
she died from falling.
Interesting, because that's the good point about that too. Is like there was like the soot on her, but she wasn't like.
Yeah,
she wasn't burned. And
so only
she's
true
engulfed in the flame. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else who's on the ground, when that flame touched them, they burnt up inside their armor. Okay,
they're gonna have a bad day.
A whole bad day. That's actually called instant bad day.
But
so I think to answer your question, yes, there are multiple Targaryens that are fireproof, but there are ones
bitches. Got it.
There are ones who have tested it and died.
But yeah, at the end of this episode, I honestly was just like watching this scene and this turmoil, and I was like, okay, well, he's dead, and the dragon is wounded, and maybe they'll say that he died in the next episode. But I was just expecting that dude to be dead, and when I was like reading like reviews and recaps later on, I was like, oh, I guess this nigga's still alive.
It was my second watch that made me think he's alive. You don't see him
get up, and did he give a thumbs up?
He was
like
breathing.
In the Fall Guy.
He was breathing, and what do we always say?
The dragon was breathing.
Exactly, both of them were breathing, and I'm just saying.
Okay.
What do we always say about
the first time I watched it? I did not get any signs of life from him at all, and that's why I also figured why Cole was like, ah. The second time though, that's when I was like, okay, they left it ambiguous enough that he's gonna be alive.
You can hear him breathe. If you go back and watch it, you can hear Aegon breathing a little bit, and also the dragons breathing a little bit, which is a sound design.
That dragon's a bitch too.
Touch, because you didn't really notice it, means that they did a good job.
I definitely heard and saw the dragon. I saw the dragon moving around. I heard the dragon.
I'm talking about him.
And I heard the dragon breathing. But yeah, like he was motionless, and
he was breathing.
And there's there's a lot of CGI going on. I watched the episode twice, but I guess there's like so much going on that I just didn't like really see him breathing, moving. But whatever. Like we'll see in the next episode how he survived.
And that's the thing. To correct myself, I didn't see Aegon moving or breathing. I just saw it was ambiguous enough. So I'm agreeing with Alex.
Right.
And I like that they kept it open enough where it could be he lived or he didn't, but
they do. It's one small part that y'all just missed where he goes,
okay.
I'm just saying, like,
I'll agree with you on Sunday then.
No, I'm just saying there's this weird breath that he took that was weird as fuck. But
come on, that kid's weird as fuck.
But my thing is I don't. You know what? Actually, I don't want to try to. I might fuck some shit up. So I don't want to spoil anything because my question was gonna be one that was leading. I feel like.
Okay.
I ain't gonna ask that question.
Yeah, this is me during the whole Invisible season.
Exactly. Look, dude, you see what I'm saying? That's why I had to ask y'all questions because
it's tricky.
Because last week I couldn't even talk really. I had to just let Travis handle the whole show because I don't want to ruin nothing.
He was having so much fun.
Yeah, that was fun. A wise man once said, "It's hard times out here, Daddy." Anybody have any final thoughts on this episode? Anybody have any final thoughts on this episode? Producer T, what do you remember from this episode? Do you have any final thoughts?
He remembers pizza. I know that for sure.
I remember, like, I woke up and I had some deep dish. You know, I remember like some of the plot intrigues. With what are you guys calling him, Littlefoot?
Littlefoot.
You like his character a lot,
right?
I'm gonna take a shot.
How he's stressed. You know, it's like he may have taken Heron Hall, but I got all the money to pay for Heron Hall. Like that's
right.
Free. You can't run it without the most important part. So, and
He's
then
like, I don't know if you know, but that's a fixer upper.
That is a fixer up, yeah. And then him catching what's her name with the moon tea and knowing
Queenie.
about that also. Kind of see what he's going to be doing. He's got some vital information. He knows what he's doing. The guy's not dumb.
Kaiser Sose, I agree.
Patrick, what about you? Do you have any final thoughts on this episode and any predictions going forward?
I think we covered them all. I'm not prediction wise. I think unfortunately Aegon is alive for the entire reasons we just said. I'm interested to see where Ray starts building an army from, because this was a really smart. I mean, as much as we hate Aemond, this was a really smart move. As he said, this cuts her off from the land. She doesn't have a lot of like actual good allies left. I'm interested to see the struggle of her finding someone to fight for or with her. So I think that's gonna be a big part of the next episode.
What about you, Bill? You have any final thoughts or predictions for the next episode?
I think he's got some definite predictions.
I got some great predictions, but you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to say I'm going to do teasers.
Okay.
There's a lot of foreshadowing in this show. I mean, this episode, which is what they're doing well that Game of Thrones did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
We are going to get a lot more from Harrenhal. But I think that what should be pointed out in this show, I pointed out at every other episode, nothing good happens in this show.
Tijuana? Oh.
This story has no good things that happen. There's no one who benefits from anything that happens in this show. So with that being said and kept in mind, I think that we have a lot of people who look like they're in the catbird seat who will later end up being not so happy about.
I think that's a good point, because the thing is, we're still feeling some real stakes with these people, even though we know none of them has a happy ending. It's like it's one of the things about Revenge of the Sith. Like, there was still like, you were feeling worried about Obi-Wan and Anakin, and it's like, you know how it's going to end out and how they're going to end up, but while you're watching it, especially the first time, you're still like engaged with it. I think shows that's one of the biggest tricks of prequels. I think House of Dragon's doing a very good job of managing it.
Yeah, it's one of the interesting things. Like, when you go in to watch Titanic, you know that at the end of the day, you're going to find Titanic at the end of at the bottom of the ocean.
Want to hear something funny?
But Patrick, where can people find you?
Something. God damn it! I want to know.
My sister and her friends were in high school when that movie came out. They all went to see it, and one of her friends legitimately didn't know anyone was going to die.
Okay.
Oh my god. Yeah. Shout out to public school. You should know about Titanic if you've gone to school through.
There's a pretty big spoiler, and that spoiler is the name of the movie. But anyway, you can find me. So, you can probably easiest way, try and Skype me at Don Cheadle's driveway at littleDicky2.com. It's because of the hackers. Yeah. You can try and find Jeff Madel on Facebook at MadelJeff on Instagram. But honestly, the easiest way to catch me is just, I'm here every Monday.
Every motherfucking Monday. He's here just as much as me.
Producer D, where can the people find you on?
As always, you can just go to tpins.com for my Instagram. Get you some awesome pins from all kinds of stuff, including our own Drunk Bantha pins. Still got Pride pins.
Hey.
Also, if you just happen to be a black nerd that lives in the DC area, the DMV area, or you just want to go out to the East Coast, you can come out to BlurredCon and catch me at in DC for all weekend. And that's where I'll be at, hanging outside, doing what I used to do best, and that's selling drugs.
Fuck yeah, man. Guys, and if you do not...
Well, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say if you guys don't remember any of that shit, if you're just as drunk and or high as we are, you can find all that in the video description. Bill, where can people find you?
I'm like, goddamn, you don't want to ask me where they can find me?
I'm working up to it.
Joking, man. We're potting. We're potting. None of this matters.
We're going streaking.
You can find me every Thursday at the Bantha Bun Show at 7 p.m. Pacific time. 7 p.m. Pacific time. We go live. We will be going to members only soon, and you will only be able to find that show in clips and shorts. So come on over to the Bantha Bunch Show while it's still free. Because
right.
or it could cost you 99 cents and you can just join up and you can watch the Bantha
Worth it.
Yeah,
it is totally worth it.
It's a small little fee. You can get little teasers on the Drunk Banthas channel, but the real show is behind the curtain.
It's behind the curtain.
To subscribe
and behind
to
the curtain is twig and berries. No, I'm joking.
I'm gonna have to get a Blake drop of the ooh.
Oh wait, the giveaway.
Oh yeah, that's right. We need to do the giveaway.
We got to do the giveaway.
Before
I'm gonna share this screen.
Things wrap up, we got to figure out who won the smorgasbord.
I swear to God, if I won it.
Look, now this is very. It doesn't look really good until you hit it. Here we go.
Oh yeah, a lot of comments tonight. You know, got a lot of chances. Oh, the streaming. Yeah.
Streaming meeting. I doubt that you're even
show.
I'm sure you're not watching anymore.
Doubt that you're even still here. But that's why you got to watch to the end. If you hit
the show, you can come in at the end and still win.
And you can still come in. Like, I mean, just
it pays to stick around till the end.
Well, sure. What I will say is you better make sure you hit us up on Instagram or Twitter and then DM us. That way I can send you your shit. How would I get you your shit if you don't talk to me? So make sure you DM us because last winner didn't do that. And we will just move on to the next person. So hit us up. Make sure you do your shout out to you. What was it? Streaming Mimi.
Yeah, Streaming Mimi. Yeah, you have won all of, like, not one, not two, not three, but every single comic book in the Sweet Tooth collection and a Drunk Banthas t-shirt. So if you just like reach out to us, we'll reach out to you in the comments and we'll we'll get your contact information and we'll figure out how to get those products to you. But guys, we have giveaways pretty regularly on the podcast now. This is what we do.
We used to do it a lot more. We used to do it 2 years ago. We were giving out shit all the time.
Yeah, actually, we were giving out shit a lot back in the day. We were desperate. Thank you guys so much for listening to the Drunk Banthas podcast. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Pacific time, but don't forget to like and subscribe so you can get updates on new videos. Check us out on Twitter, IG, TikTok, Letterboxd, likewise, all the internet things at the Drunk Banthas. Until next time, stay safe, my little web weavers, and may the force be with you.
Cheers! I tried to pour this